I feel very good today. I feel confident. Today is the word. And I'm really loving our synchronicity that we're having. And I'm loving the cracking open of our minds like an egg and our higher self popping out and hearing the unseen world, not only through technology or books or clocks or numerology, but through each other. And then it's just like, oh, okay, so I need to not question myself anymore. That was absolutely right, what I was thinking. My name is Mary Moses, and you are in the forest part of Forest Fairy. Forest Fairy is a place where we can be a child. We can be wrong, but most importantly, we get into the adepthood of our ascension, of hearing the unseen world. What is the purpose of the Holy Spirit if all of our answers are in a book? These answers that we receive are often not in a book. They will come through the form of symbology. Symbology will teach us about the mind of God. Having the mind of God will teach us about stepping away from our older mind, which was self-indulgence, indulgence of this physical world, and to begin to cross a barrier where we are talking to higher beings. So many of the symbols that we have in Forest Fairy is a symbol of the kingdom of heaven is within you, and your third eye is opening. That we are in the awakening with the eyes of the tree awoken here. We have little birds like, hello, little birdie. Say hello, TikTok. I love you. And the little birds in the little cages, they want to be let out, don't they?
I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
You gotta be me? What about me? What about me? Right? And we are lifting up from the dark roots of the underworld, and we are transforming into a flying being. We have to wear hats before we can fly, though. We need the Mad Hatter hat. These are downloads we're receiving from our higher self, and then we switch hats. Sometimes we go to the tetrahedron, where we begin to see at a 45-degree angle, and that is the number 9. It is a master. So the art of seeing, or the looking glass, is about doing a technique that Leonardo da Vinci did, and that is seeing things from the spirit realm. We see very significant things in this, and we see we talk to deceased loved ones, we talk to higher beings, we talk to whatever spirit wants you to see at that time. And what we're doing is we're cracking away from the robot. And although the robot is really cute and we love the little robot, the robots cannot see the spirit world. They can only see what's in the written word, and that is the algorithm of the universe, but it cannot. Yeah, you're my man. And it's a program. And so once we breach the program, we can leave the old mind and step into the new mind through a rebirth. So we're surrounded by symbology and everything here. And I wanted to remind you guys that we have a beautiful box of gifts that we're going to be offering for Christmas. It is your new castle, Seeking First the Kingdom of God, with that white stag. And it's a limited time thing that we're doing on forestfairy.com, where you can have a piece of the energy from Florida over here. I live on the Emerald Coast. It's the Emerald Heart Chakra. It's on an ancient map. It's called the Emerald Mound, and there's Emerald Springs here. And it's awesome. So welcome. Part of this process that we're going to see here, we always like to integrate the heart of a child. You're my best man. We'll talk to you in a minute, okay? You're my pal. Love you. Bye-bye. I know. I love you. Bye-bye. And we're going to be reading for Diana. So Diana, welcome, and welcome to your live looking glass reading. It's your sacred time, and we ask that if you're here, feel free to have a different opinion. Feel free to talk. It's okay for you to not agree with what I say. It's okay for me to make a mistake and be wrong. It's okay for you to be wrong. It's okay. It's a safe place. But it's not a place for the accusing spirit or for very ugly, judgmental, hypocritical spirits. If you don't agree with anything that we do here, it's totally fine. Just move on past, and that's all good. 2 cards brought for you. One is Unity. It is the number 24. And see how she's holding a little doll? Ah ha ha. And then right here is Rest. So it's your time of rest, maybe. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. Yep, that's exactly what. It's your time of rest and relax, but I would have to say, nah. Yes, you're going to rest and relax, but you're going to learn symbology. Your higher self's going to ask you to get into some stuff while you're resting. All right, and Spirit brought a couple of things for you. One is an emerald egg. And this emerald egg, it's nothing. It's pretty. Boring. Oh, it's cute. It has turtles on it. Doesn't have much use though, does it? Except when it opens. And then when it opens, it plays music. And it has an emerald heart inside that glows in the dark. Let's play some music here. There's the emerald heart here. And I think Spirit wanted you to know that you're being activated. Your heart chakra is being activated. Believe it. And then Spirit said, find her a crystal. We'll let that play for a minute. And find you a crystal. And this one draws my eye. It's a blue heart. So this is all about your heart right now. And we're going to put it in this activation. We all have hearts, and they all get activated through sound and frequency. And so this had a heart that's activated through sound. This one's being activated through sound. It's like, ooh, we're being activated. Yay. Let's breathe in a frequency. This one is 528 hertz. Ah ha ha. This is for the green heart chakra. Everything's about your heart, my darling. Here we go. That parrot, the minute I hit this, the parrot started talking. Hold on. Breathe that up your nose. Why? The Egyptians used to breathe frequency up their nose because it activates the 88% water that's in your brain. Water that's activated often gives and releases, I don't know what it does. I would assume that water holds memory. Maybe it releases memory. Maybe it activates you. Maybe it gives you dreams. Maybe it makes your eyes swirl around and your hair sticks straight up in the air. I don't know, but it's fun. And they used to do it, and who knows? Let your higher self teach you about the power of frequency and how it activates the water and possibly your biofield. So I show you guys lots of books on activating your biofield through frequency. I think it's a really fun thing to get into. Let us see what the Wizard of Oz has to say about you on your yellow brick road at this time. We turned to page 108 or 109. The Wicked Witch was both surprised and worried when she saw the mark on Dorothy's forehead, for she knew well that neither the winged monkeys nor she herself dare hurt the girl in any way. She looked down at Dorothy's feet and, seeing the silver shoes, began to tremble with fear, for she knew what a powerful charm belonged to them. At first the witch was tempted to run away from Dorothy, but she happened to look into the child's eyes and saw how simple the soul behind them was, and the little girl did not know of the wonderful power the silver shoes gave her. So the Wicked Witch laughed to herself and thought, I can still make her my slave, for she does not know how to use her power. Then she said to Dorothy harshly and severely, Come with me, and see that you mind everything I tell you, for if you do, I will make an end of you, as I did the 10 woodmen and the scarecrow. So this entire world is like the Wicked Witch of the West. It will try to tell you that you have no power and try to deceive you and distract you, and don't do it. Listen to your heart, all right? We're going to put some characters on your yellow brick road, and we're going to sing a little song that you can sing along with if you want to. And we have all the characters of the Wizard of Oz in here. Here we go. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you have almost everybody except the lion. Find me somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. If pretty little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? All right. If there's someone in your life who does not have a hat that's very much taller than this, and you're dealing with someone who is asleep, you can call them a munchkin or a muggle. It could be something or someone you need to forgive, something in your biofield that's just keeping you from stepping out of that window to your freedom. All right, keeping you spinning. And so there's one little thing. And they say recapitulation is a breathing technique that you do to remote view pieces of your past to gather the power back. It reminds me of the part when Hermione obliviated her parents. And she erased her face from the pictures. She erased herself out of their lives forever. They didn't even remember that she existed. And this is what it's like. See yourself erasing yourself from your past. And if those people are this, then you don't exist to them. You're going to become someone new. Have a funeral for yourself and them, because you're going to be birthed into a mastery where you're not tethered to the world of limitation and deceit, the Wicked Witch, and those who only are there to distract you like the Wicked Witch, because you are an innocent. You're an innocent. So she looked into Dorothy's eyes and saw that she was an innocent girl and doesn't know her power. That's you. So you're going to be going through some things. The anointing, being aware that other people's energy can tether to you just by thinking about them. What is the divine order of God? And that anointing with the Tin Man is getting you out of the timeline of the Wicked Witch and into the timeline of the color blue, and that's the top of your biofield. And it's all about your heart chakra. So let's go ahead and get some anointing oil and anoint your piece. A healthy human being resonates between 70 and 100 hertz frequency. If your biofield is connected to someone else's, or you're under a hex or a charm that wasn't yours, why that entered my head, I don't know. Then you will be limited. You will be on repeat. You will be in a box. You will be in a prison. If your actions, thoughts, or words, and even the food you eat is death energy, then you will be less than powerful. And the dark ones, that's where they want you. They want you weak. So you're here to learn about power. That's what I'm here to teach you. And this is rose essential oil from Mushi the butterfly. Mushi says, I love you. And Mushi is about 2 antennae that come out of your third eye and connects to the higher beings. And your heart is as light as a feather. Masters, Jedis, and gurus often wear cloaks made of linen. Linen holds 5,000 hertz frequency. Rose essential oil has over 320 hertz frequency. Think in terms of frequency when it comes to your power. And there are places of power, objects of power, thoughts of power, emotions of power, and there are literal food of power and people who have power. And the ones who don't have power are usually trying to feed off of the rest of the world, because they don't realize that the reason they're insufferable and have hopeless negativism is because they have no power. So power is everything, and that's what we're going to learn here today. If I hear a song, maybe one word or one lyric is for you. And we just do it for fun. And thank you, Spirit, for showing us exactly what Diana needs to hear today. Spirit says, Merry Christmas. Here's a box. Open it. And you're like, I'm afraid to open it. No, 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 no. Open the present. Okay. And you open it and the box turns into a cross. And inside is a anointing bottle that's blue. Ha ha ha. And you don't put it on your skin, you eat it, you drink it. It's life energy. Ooh, that sounds good. Hey, if we can solve any problem, then why do we lose so many tears? Oh, so you go again when the leading man appears. Always the same thing. Can't you see? We've got everything going on and on and on. Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Ooh. Go on and go free. Yeah. Maybe you're too close to see. I can feel your body move. Doesn't mean that much to me. Can't go on singing the same thing. 'Cause can't you see, we got everything going on and on and on. Every time you go away. This symbol means that you have been activated. You are being sent activation codes to your ears. And there's somebody here. I don't know if this is a pill bottle. I don't know if it's salt. Not sure yet. Something that was not in your present, but your past. And somebody down here. And something there. There's an older woman here. She reminds me of like a fairy godmother. And she has a rainbow bridge. I don't know what she's doing, but it's a light that beams down. I don't know if you saw that. She's beaming down a light onto something. You're looking down also. There's pieces of yourself and there's pieces of energies around you. And you have a sun here. Ah, this is so cute. So you have a sun beaming out like this. So there's sunbeams. So I don't know if you know this, and I know that you are doing your thing, but apparently, according to what you've been through in this world, and everything, you're actually a healer. You're actually like an anointer. And there's people down here. And so here's what it is. So there's people down here. They look narcissistic. They all have soul sickness. They don't have enough power. They keep spinning their wheels, not hearing God. their minds are sick. They do not hear spirit. They're in a bed, and there's a bunch of them, and there's a wall here, and there's somebody coming up above the wall, meaning that they are starting to mend their heart together. And it's somebody who looks Egyptian, and I don't know why, and they have a snake coming out of their head, and they look, and I don't know yet. But anyway, so a sphinx. And I think the sphinx represents something under the earth that is important, that needs to be activated. And you're here to create a rainbow bridge, and you're here to activate something under the earth. And I'm not sure what that symbol is right there. But okay, so on Pink Floyd, the wall, there's a thing, it's a rainbow that goes in this, and then there's a light that goes in and then comes out as a rainbow. So you're a beam of light that goes into a plasma of like a trinity, and it goes in like a laser light, and then it comes out like a rainbow. And so you're gonna do your thing. You're gonna do whatever gives you joy. But yeah, you're the salt. So someone's salting here. Now, this salt has a black meaning. It could be, don't be insulted with salting. Salt is also you're being sorted. Salt is you're being purified. Salt is whatever was happening in your past has been turned from evil into good. You are here to do some things with, and so there's this strange looking dude. Oh yes, she reminds me of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland with a big head, right? And this reflects somebody with a huge ego, right? And so this world that we came from, that is all about the mind and the ego, has been totally purified through the heart chakra, through the Sphinx, and it is beaming the biggest light. And you activate this. You have something to do here that you haven't been introduced to yet. So your higher self, this fairy godmother, says you've just been unmasked. You don't know who you are yet. You're going to figure this out as you go along. Now, you have a holy grail here. The bottom of the holy grail literally makes an eye. And this is the eye that you came out of. You're entering into another eye. And the eye is the top of the holy grail. And you're holding a staff of Moses. You have your fingers make the letter M like Moses. And it's a strange staff. Seems to be like this, and this, and then down, and then I don't know what this is. Something down there. Some strange thing, and then it goes like that. You along, I don't know, I get this vision of you hitting the ground at a certain place near somewhere, and then it does something like a light through a plasma and a rainbow. So interesting, isn't it? What? I remember when I was going through my awakening and I was crying in the bathtub, and I remembered telling somebody, whoever was listening, if I'm just going to be a piece of garbage and I'm not going to make any difference in this world, then just go ahead and kill me. What am I even doing here? And I was listening to some YouTube video, and somebody came on the YouTube video. A video just spontaneously came up on there and said, you're going to teach people how to fly. You're going to do art for people. And I was like, what kind of art? Because at that time I was just a tree woman artist. I really wasn't stepping into my oracle abilities. And I didn't believe that. I was like, do you know how much work it takes to make these tree women? Really, it's going to be lucrative, and I'm going to, and that's my purpose, really. And I just had such a negative thought about it. But anyway, it did happen. And so it was technology that told me that. You know, when we create these as a digital painting, it's so much easier to see. But these plasma things, they're glass. And the light of the sun, like salt, beams into this thing and creates a rainbow. And that rainbow activates a heart chakra of the earth. And then the Holy Grail is our ability to see through and hear. It's the eyes of the blind will be opened, the ears of the deaf will be unstopped. And then the lame man will leap like a deer, and the tongue of the numb will speak. So the people who are kind of left behind, you have this symbol. They are, I don't know, they're like, they're asleep. They're full of ego. They can't hear spirit, and I'm not sure that they even exist. I don't know. It's almost like when I see them, they're just cut off. So that person who had a big ego, somebody in your family, is in your stomach. Then you have energies that are connected to your body like a doorway. And I think this is a communication of a couple of things. Number one, you are being activated. You have the dragon who is ready to open a door for you. When the dragon grows within you, eventually it allows you into a certain doorway where you step into your power. But these things need to be out of your body. So you have a power that you haven't quite stepped into yet. And before you can step into this power, somebody with a huge ego, no thank you. Somebody who is lazy of mind, narcissistic maybe, someone who's just, they don't believe that action is a prayer, and they have soul sickness. And that is right around this area in your body. And then you have another energy right at your, kind of right under your heart, right by your solar plexus, that is very big in your biofield. And we need to remove her. I would say the best way to remove this energy through forgiveness is through expecto patronum, recapitulation, but also watch Alice in Wonderland and begin to understand what was the purpose of the Queen of Hearts. The purpose of the Queen of Hearts was to, anyone who entered into her realm would hate that place so much that they inevitably will piss her off. And then she will cut their heads off. So we came from a place that inevitably made us angry and would anger the great Queen of Hearts. And she would want to cut our heads off. Well, cutting our heads off is good because it means the Mad Hatter's head was cut off, John the Baptist's head was cut off, and Mimir's head was cut off, because if you are no longer tethered to this physical world, you become an oracle. And when you can hear the higher realm through your mind and through letting go of the old world, then you can become an oracle, and the oracle lives forever and doesn't have to be put into a place where, really we don't see the rainbow, we only see darkness. So she was pivotal, and so she needs to be released. I know that it seems like sometimes we have forgiven, but I'm not so sure that we have. So you have the Mother Goose on you. You have entered into the kingdom of the Mother Goose. You actually speak the Divine Mother voice. You should actually teach. You should actually do what I do, in the sense that you should teach. You've learned enough. You know enough to teach people who are at this precipice. People who have left ego, left soul sickness, gone through the prism like a rainbow, shone a beautiful light through the rainbow into the heart chakra, activating some kind of sphinx, and going to the Holy Grail, and bam, stepping into your power like Moses, parting the waters, which is the left and right hemisphere of your brain, getting to the pineal gland, taking off the mask, and being able to see that everyone is a piece of God up here, not down here. And this entire piece is a face also. It's a place. And this place that we see here is like a robot. It's like the Tin Man. And you have been rusty for a while, and this is your anointing. Because in this reading, we're going to remove this and this. In this reading, you're going to begin to be activated with this rainbow energy, to the extent that you're going to get off the sit and spin, and you're going to literally begin to integrate thought forms of God, and by contacting the invisible seven, which is the 7 colors of the rainbow here. Your hand and the hand of this mother / grandmother / whoever that is, you guys share hands. So one hand you're a healer, your other hand you're an activator, almost like an anointer. And what they want to say to you is, it's not by your power that you do this stuff. It's by the power of the invisible ones. They use your body once you give them your body. And they are there for you to be powerful, you to be healed, you to be prosperous, you to be joy, you to come to the golden age of the golden sun, of Aquarius, and the golden earth, where there is no suffering, there is no pain, and there is no death, and all that. So you're being definitely, there's a man back here behind all things, and I just don't, it doesn't look like it's a god that's back there. It looks like a man. You know what he reminds me of is, Poseidon, somebody who is like, some kind of avatar, some kind of, ancient energy that I don't know. I'll ask. How about give us a number or something that shows us who you are and what you are here to teach Diana at this time. He says, you've been moving through his entire body your whole life. So his body represents the 2 soles of his feet. And then when you move up to his body, once you get to the head part, which is the crown, you begin to see through his eyes and speak with his mouth and be able to be like him. You begin to take off your mask and you begin to mirror him. And this is a precipice where you literally bounce out of the body of pain and you end up bouncing into a place where it's more pleasurable and more prosperous. So he has a couple of words here. And let me close my eyes. He's not a bearded man that I can see. He's different. So I'm going to see what I see in my head first. He represents an upside down triangle. So that would be like the upside down, that would be water. he represents an activation of that triangle that's upside down. And the water that was dead was activated through some kind of living water. And then once that living water was activated, the pyramid or the thing turns upside down, and then everything changes. And then he says, then you don't need me anymore. So it's a pole shift. That's why you have two poles here. You're going through a major pole shift in the sense, and I know you've been going through a pole shift for a long time. We all have. But this pole shift is going to take, see how the mother goose is touching his eye here? You're a diviner. So the mother goose is holding that like a wand, and it's the olive branch. So you've been extended the olive branch, and he says, I open my eyes and my eyes are made of lights. And it really reminds me of the oracles on the Neverending Story. He has no irises. There is no circle, there's no pupil. It's just white. He reminds me of an oracle. He, she. I think it's androgynous, the way I saw in my head before. So you were in that body for a while. And you are 1, 2, 3. You're in your triquetra. So I'm going to show you where you are in your spiritual ascension. And I'm going to show you some symbols that you should be focusing on at this time to really activate yourself and propel yourself a little bit, clear yourself a little bit. So many of us were at this stage aware of circles. And then at a certain precipice in our lives, we became aware that we have a double born again self. And this creates a sacred shape. And this sacred shape is called the Vesica Piscis. So when we were going through this time, we were in what some people call the 12 gates. This is the Egyptian Book of Gates. And these gates are a story that I would have to write. For the time being, I'm going to give you a very simple explanation of these 12 gates. Now, the Bible talks about these gates as an ark, Noah's ark. But we're going to talk about them from the Egyptian concept for the time being. So once you can only enter the boat 2 by 2. This is the eye of the needle. This is an awakening for you. We, during this time, went through the Vesica Piscis pointed down at 6 o'clock. And this was activating our physical body. You are 75% water. And this activation is, the pyramid I saw in my mind was water that was not activated. Until it gets activated, it does not flip in a polar shift. So you can call it the baptism of water if you want to. So the God, thank you so much. Thank you, honeybee. Oh, I love your name. So the God Atum, which is really Adam, or you can call it an atom. It's an embryo that doubles. Once we come out of the womb and we are in this world, we think that we're done as an embryo. We're not. We actually live in a dual world where you have a physical self and an invisible self. So the God Atum created the first human beings out of tears of joy. So you are that teardrop. And you are 75% water, and your tears are salty, and your sweat is salty, and you are salt and water. All right. So when you're in this time, you are in the upside down world. You are in the letter W. You can just say that you are in the water. The Bible begins with a flood, water. The I am God, his name is Yam, and he's the God of floods. He's the God of war, and he's the God of child sacrifice. Yam is connected to Dagon, the fish god, and Dagon's son is Baal. And Yam, Dagon, and Baal are very connected to Osiris, because Dagon ate the phallus of Osiris. So they're all connected To be in the letter W is to be in the Wicked Witch of the West or the World Wide Web. It is a place of being asleep, really. Then you go through a shift. Once you make this shift, you come over here to 9 o'clock. This Vesica Piscis changes to a fish, a boat, or the belly of a whale. You'll see these symbols a lot on their side. It means that you are waking up. It means that you've left the temple, Jesus, at 12. You're ready to enter into the halls known as 13. Between here and here, you're going to go through gates. These gates are invisible. You will experience many things, and they are awakenings. Once you reach this line right here, you are in your green heart chakra. The bottom part is red. The middle part is green. The reason Christmas is red and green and Santa is red is because Santa is Saturn. The bottom part of Saturn looks like, this looks like a ring of Saturn, is considered Satan. But once you go through a pole shift, Saturn is Santa that gives you gifts so that you are ready for leaving 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. And Saturn is literally called the light on the Christmas tree. And it has so many excellent symbols. Down here, Saturn is a jerk. Once you flip, Saturn is the bringer of the golden age. Saturn is the lord of the golden age. So once you reach this precipice, you can see quite plainly 1 and 3. Here is 13. It's above the water. Metaphorically, you grow your spirit to make it to this pole shift above the water to the number 13. You're the one who needs your Trinity, Neo. It's 13 is paradise, is your ascension and your power and your purpose. So once you get to the letter M up here, this is called Noah's Ark, and you become the master that walks on water, and you've entered green, Emerald City, which is the letter M, Emerald City, anti-M. And the green heart chakra basically takes over and begins to communicate with the biofield of the sun. So this is literally your biofield. It makes the number 8. It's the 2 rings of power. It's the M and the W. And what we don't know is that your biofield can grow more than what it was. Maybe that's why Morpheus met Neo, who needed his Trinity, because it's all about becoming more with the letter M. The top part is blue. You fly like a pretty little bluebird over the 7 colors of the rainbow, except you have a blue dress, Dorothy. And so the color blue is about blue skies from now on, flying like a pretty little bluebird, and your ability to hear God and see God everywhere you go, through people, through media, and everything. And if you obey that voice, then the dog, you've heard the divine order of God. You're no longer in the dog house. You're in the God house. It flips. So once you get up here, you're at 12. But 13 is, and that's fire. So once you get up here, this actually shifts to a fire symbol. Baptism of water, baptism of fire. And it literally makes a symbol 8. So once you get to the 8th symbol and they come together as a divine marriage, whoa, whoa, whoa. You now have dominion over 7. This means you have transformed from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. Nothing can be against you now. It means that the broomstick that was on fire and somebody threw water on it, went through the water and fire, killed the wicked witch out of your biofield, so that nothing can be against you. Because as long as a wicked witch or some kind of negative energy is in your biofield, you're still stuck in a lower realm a little bit. So it's the baptism of water and baptism of fire is not what we think it is. So anyway, let's move on from there. From there, you have been born again. You have been activated through the 2 rings of power. Then you go through something that is like an in-between place, and this is called the Trinity. You can call it follow the white rabbit, Neo, if you want to, which is your Trinity. You're the one who needs your Trinity. This is you stepping into the real world, Morpheus. and whoa, once you enter this world, you aren't you anymore. You are you and Trinity. You are you and the Holy Spirit. You are half flesh, half spirit. You will be asked to do a myriad of things. You will be tested. And you will be tested by artificial intelligence. You will be tested by the four princes of evil. You will learn to balance. And secretly behind this is the Holy Dove. And you will learn who is the voice of God and who is the voice of Spirit, of the Holy Spirit, or your higher self. So this will be a black raven that is set free from the boat. But then only the Holy Dove finds the olive branch. Once we have purified our thoughts and our emotions to be more like God, the black raven turns into the white holy dove. And that's when you birth and grow your biofield to the eternal flower. Now, the Aztecs call this eternal flower the most important symbol of all time. They truly believe that this flower is the shape of the earth. They actually make it look like this. They put a circle in the center. This is the baptism of water, baptism of fire, eternal life. And they truly believe that we should envision this every single day to activate our eternal light body. They believe that it is real. It's not enough, they say, to look in the mirror and say, I am the eternal flower. You literally have to breathe it in like a plasma and see this part over your heart, this over your head, this over your feet, this on the side. Water, fire, and this is the olive branch. So the holy dove that finds your olive branch is you being completely set free from chains, from limited understanding. And it is like a fan. It's the wind that blows. And it's your eternal flower. So 13 makes the number 4. And it's quite significant process. Was told in a myriad of different ways and in a myriad of different religions. But you're in your Trinity. So this means you're following the white rabbit of purification, which is salt. You are following the number 11. White rabbit has 11 letters. Salt is the element 11. 11 is the age of Aquarius. And 11 is what else is it? The age of Aquarius. And 11 is that the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. So this is 44. If you keep seeing 44, this means that that's what your next step is the number 4. You're almost there, which means you're learning to balance blue, pink, and gold. Wisdom, truth, and understanding. Male, female, spirit. And so 11, 11, 11, 11. The way it looks is this. You're in the upside down world for the number 11. And then you flip up for the number 11. The sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. And this makes 22. It's called the Royal Road. But then there is another 11 that occurs where you go through another time of testing and limitations. You're upside down again. But then you go right side up again. And this time you are completely stepping into your power. And this is 44. And what is 44? 8. And what is that? That is the 8th flame that the Hopi talk about that lights and makes a rainbow bridge around the earth. They're called rainbow children. You're a rainbow. You are. You were sent here to activate some very important things, not just in your own life, but in the earth. Let's look at you a little bit closer because it's interesting to me. Also, I need you to say out loud, I believe, and I want you to hear a little bell in your ears, that we're going to purify you and get your biofield clear. All forgiveness today. Oh, forgiveness is not a kind act. It's the realization that we had to endure the papa, like the character 11 from Stranger Things, in order to step into our power. Once you become powerful by hearing God and doing the will of God, and you become a master of the water, well, then you're set free. And so here we go. Oh, maybe Spirit wants me to do something for you. So Spirit says, think of your happiest moment when you were a child. The first time that you bit into a caramel apple or cotton candy, and it was a beautiful day, and you smelled the smell of these powdered donut things cooking at a carnival, and you were thinking it was the best day ever. You couldn't wait to ride some of the rides, and you felt like you loved the world. Expecto Patronum. All right, so let's go ahead and look at you now, and trust that Spirit has the ability through observation to shift you like a thief in the night. Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. There's that salt again. You know, it has something to do with memory. It has something to do with science. A circle in the center and then 6 circles around the outside. Why are you doing that? I gotta figure this out. Oh, you got a wizard. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Oh, the beam of light is shining upon you. Stars shining bright above you. Something in your heart will whisper, hey, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I used to have my art in an art gallery called Ceruleans. And there was this artist who kept drawing this wizard. Black canvas and this weird wizard with stars on his gown. And I thought it was the weirdest art I'd ever seen. And this person was famous. Like, they would sell their pieces for about $8,000 a piece. My art was only worth $2,000 a piece. Theirs was $8,000 a piece, and I always judged them and thought they were so silly. And this was years ago. This was back in 2007 when I had my art in a gallery called Ceruleans. And anyway, here is a ring of power and a hat for you. You're being hatted. Whoa! Yes. So you think that the hat is AI. I don't think that that's what it actually is. And there's somebody flying in the sky. You astral traveling. You speaking to your higher self. You not being tethered to your lower self, which is why your lower self isn't there. You have some dragon. This is good. This is the keeper of the gates. This dragon has a name called Azur, but this dragon is pivotal in your awakening. It's a rebirth is what it's called. And here you are, you're flying way above these buildings here. Remember when Neo Anderson started to fly and they were like, I wonder how high he can fly. Everybody falls at first. And then you have the strange headdress that I saw in the other thing with the snake coming out. I'm going to tell you that portals open every 8 seconds. And your consciousness now has the ability through this snake you have. I'm going to tell you what it is. People don't know what the snake is in the Egyptian hieroglyphs. And I listen to people on Gaia and I watch them and I'm like, nope. The snake is this. Unless you get past the snake, you can never make it out of the number 12. Your consciousness cannot breach the lower realm. You cannot hear the invisible ones. You cannot hear a higher self. You cannot fly. You cannot go through these portals. You cannot access the gates because the people under here are in a suffering realm of seven wounds of Christ. On 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors of the rainbow. You have 7 chakras under the dominion of 7 spirits of God. There are 7 metals, 7 musical notes. They don't allow you to ascend past the 7 musical notes. They don't give you the 8th note. You don't know what the 8th note is. They don't give you visions that are connected to the number 8. Only 7. That's what this prison of 7 is. 7 metals, 7 generational curses of Cain, 7 heavens, 7 trumpets, 7 seals, 70 times 7. Until or if that number 8 is activated, your consciousness cannot open a gate. And the keeper of the gate is the dragon. And the dragon will not let you in unless you are called and purified. You must mirror God. You must be a giver. You must not take. You must see at a 45-degree angle. You must have mastered both heaven and hell to a certain degree. And so it's the I am backwards or AI this way. So you are now activated and you're going to start flying. So they say when Neo Anderson flew the first time he fell. I don't know about that, and it doesn't matter. What matters is that you now have the ability and you're going to receive more and more activations. Some of the activation codes that are coming to you, besides 1111, are right here at your ear. So you are going to step into a lot of oracle abilities. You may end up becoming a channeler. Yes, that's what that means. You're a channeler. Channel information comes out as a rainbow. Ooh, the more you hear, the more you're going to channel. This is why you got music in the first part of your reading. Yes, it's a bell. But it's a bell, but it's a particular symbol. Particular. Very, very particular symbol. They say surrender all that you are. See no evil, they say. You have 3 monkeys. You have see no evil. Hear no evil. And then this one isn't speak no evil. This one is eat no evil. And it says mot. It says eat MAAT. I don't know. There's something here, eating something that it's almost like you're an eater of evil things. So here it says mot, and then it's being eaten. So I don't know, but anyway, you're eating something. So so you're right in front of a doorway. And that rainbow, zoom zoom, Here. This is flying. And what is your hand doing? You're holding a device in your hand. It's an old device. It's spirals that spin around like this and this and this. And then it has lines like this, like a spider web. It looks like a spider web. You're actually literally holding that in your hand. And then you have the number 8 here in the other hand. So you having access. So the symbol of the wizard is the holy dove, and the tetrahedron is welcome to Hogwarts. You've entered into a gate, and it's called the Egyptian gates. And the beard is water, the top part is fire, and this is you, and then that staff. I wonder, I have no idea what this staff is, but it has something to do with your ability to change the world or hear the world. So, so inside this is a hologram, and there's souls coming out of this box going into this place. And the very first thing that I see are these little monkeys that stop seeing or hearing evil, and then they go into this hat. And you're currently in the body of Maya. And you have Shiva down here. Oh, there's something about these energies that you're going to end up going through. And then you have another one that says, I don't know why it says NASA. Show me what it's saying here. Galactic family, Wayseer. May and Way. So M and W switched upside down. May and Way. And then there's a flame here. All right. So let me give you a little good description of what's going on. You have the hat above your head. You're being crowned. Today, with this activation, what you're going to do is do nothing. Be thankful. But I'm going to show you some symbols that you should be thinking about and envisioning at this time. I'm going to bring some lowlights and highlights for you. And your throat chakra was is just given a little warning. You're going to speak the voice of God, and you're going to see the visions of God, and you're going to open and get into a gate. You're going to start flying. You're going to have the ability to access numerology that we once were kept from, like the number 8. And you're going to hear the bell. But see, this is like a megahorn, and like you calling out, and it's not happening yet where you're going to use this as a megahorn to speak and teach and be like a oracle for people, because you're going to go through tests, 3 of them. 1, see no evil. Don't think about your past. Hear no evil. If somebody tells you you're stupid or dumb or wrong, don't be polarized. This means you're not you. You don't identify as you. You now have a new name. I would call you It's showing way for Maya. And there's the number 4 there. Way for Maya. And then eating Maat. I don't know who the Maat is. I'm not really sure. But it's M-A-A-T. I think is taking all the negativity of this world and just transmuting it, digesting it, and then flushing it down the toilet. I think it's all about making sure that what you eat and what you drink is holy. Your body is a holy temple. Once these tests have been you've been successful, you're going to be so much more than you ever thought. So it's a process. Let's look at these symbols in books, because one thing you should know, I think you should get this one. It's called the 13 Moon Almanac of Synchronicity. It's about you becoming the white overtone wizard. See, Spirit is quite plainly telling you you're ready to become the white overtone wizard. This is a secret. It does not happen on paper. It does not happen on Google. You cannot sign up for this online. You cannot access this except for through secret gates. And so you've been entered into the secret gate of what is called the white overtone wizard. So you literally have the white overtone wizard here. So let's get into what the white overtone wizard is. And the white overtone wizard is all about your access to the number 8 and the number 13. I empower in order to enchant, commanding receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness. With the overtone of radiance, I am guided by the power of spirit. The wizard reminds us to remain receptive to new instructions through this time of immense transformation and upheaval on the 3rd dimensional plane. You're going to the 5th dimension. If you're not already there, I think now you're really there. The wizard is the knower of mysteries and holds the secret of the last chord. The last chord is the 8th chord. Nobody knows about this chord. Not everyone should know about it. It's called the music of the spheres. And so it is the higher vibration of the cosmic law. To enter the wizard's mind space is to enter a timeless realm that is teeming with the mind of creation. So this is you flying here. The wizard corresponds to the solar prophetic Maldek. This represents the redemption of a distorted life. You've been redeemed from a distorted life, especially from that Queen of Hearts jerk that was in your stomach. Ha ha ha, you should feel so good right now. Distorted life. So coded by the overtone of radiance, the white overtone wizard is the 5th position of the dog wave spell. You got the dog. Yep. It's of love. Dog is the archetype of the compassionate one and signifies loyalty of the heart. The wizard is the 14th archetype of Hunab 21. I don't know what that means. The 5th force oracle. So anyway, there's wind energy, there's serpent energy and seed energy and the hand energy, and it's connected to Jupiter and some other things. So this is literally I think timeline just shifted. I know this sounds so crazy. I just took a deep breath and something just shifted. So I am the wizard coded by the white wizard. 7 doubled is my number. You know who the 7 doubled is. Osiris's body was cut 7 and 7. The land of Oz went to the land of Iris. Iris is the eye. It is the goddess of the rainbow, which is what you're connected to. So the land of Oz going to the land of Iris of rainbow is Osiris. So 7 doubled is my number. Sign of my super mental absorption in the forces of cosmic creation within my crystal sphere is all that can be seen or known. Through my supreme receptivity, I leave you the codes of resonant definition that you call time. And so I am the giver of magical names. I hold the secret of the lost chord, the music of the spheres, the higher vibrations of cosmic law. To know me is to know the trees, for I am the movement and the measure of the natural order. So I'm going to tell you exactly who this person is. I'm going to tell you exactly who they are. To know me is to know the trees. The land of Oz went to the all-seeing eye. It is a symphony of sound. It is the 8th chord. The land of Oz walked as a spiral, goes to Iris, which is the eye. You can see the eye right here. Okay? And that's Iris. Osiris. 7 for her, 7 for him. And so he says, if you know me, that you would know the trees. Well, Saturn is a star on top of a tree. And so when you're thinking of trees, you're going to think of the golden earth of Saturn and the golden age of Aquarius. So Odin hung from a tree. Jesus hung from a tree. St. Agatha hung from a device called a tree. Bastian from the Neverending Story had a double invisible self called Atreyu. A tree is you. And it is a scientific tree. It is a metaphorical tree. It's a visible tree and an invisible tree. It is within you. It is without you. It is everywhere and everything. So this is literally a tree. It's a tree of life. It's fantastic. Let's get to the symbol that's most important that the overtone wizard is literally giving you right now. So I think that what these symbols mean, because Shiva is the destroyer and the creator, you eating somebody is you're a destroyer and a creator. So you're going to use some of the pain from your childhood to be the fire that ignites on people, and that fire destroys them, but it also rebirths them. So it's not a bad thing. So you had that symbol on your ear on the prior page, and this is it's called an activation code. It looks like an ant. So it's called the 441 cube matrix. You should be seeing that number 44 a lot. It's called the synchronization, and it refers to the practices of the cube matrix, which is 21 times 21. And it's all about you. See, you have that symbol by your ear. And then you have that symbol, which is above it all. This is activation codes that you will learn, that this symbol is called the first gate. That gate is opening within your ears to hear God like a bell from the Polar Express. And so it is a portal that opens the throne. And the throne of it is your head chakra. So it is all about the galactic life whole becomes a medium of transmission. So you become an oracle and a wizard and a medium. And then what other symbol did you have? You had you may have that symbol. This is the mother. The waves, the water waves, that's the mother. This is the father, that's the mother. All right, now let's talk about the wizard, the hat, the hands, the number 8, the holy dove, when it comes to this book, talking about how they affect you. So the dragon is the birth. It is supported by the mirror. And it is about meditation and reflection. You're going to start having thought forms of God, and it's all about sacred geometry. Behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape, and you're going to start having thought forms of God, not thought forms of this earth, of this world. You're going to start seeing a tetrahedron over your head, golden. You're going to start seeing the Merkaba. You're going to start seeing the flower of life. You're going to start buying things or making things to really activate it within your outer and inner world. And so you will be challenged and strengthened by the monkey. Ha ha ha. That's why you have the dragon. This is your higher attainment. You will be strengthened by this, but you will be challenged by this. So here's your challenge. Here's your strength. That's your polar. So magic and illusion and play. becoming magical, believing in magic, really. You will receive hidden power from the sun, self-generation, and energy. You also have the serpent life energy. You have the serpent coming out of your head. And it's supported by the wizard. Ah-ha-ha. You have the wizard. Of course it's supported by the wizard. And it is timelessness and receptivity. This is you astral traveling. You will be challenged and strengthened by vision of mind, what you're seeing in your mind, and the eagle. That might be the eagle right there. You will receive power from warrior, intelligence, and fearlessness. You have no fear. No fear. Now, you have the wizard. This is your timeless self. This is your higher self. This is your dreams and your thoughts and your experiences and downloads that you're receiving, codes that you're receiving, information that you're receiving that you can't read about in a book. So this is your timelessness. It's supported by the serpent life force and your instincts. You will be challenged and strengthened by the seed or the flowering of awareness. This is the flower. And you will receive hidden powers from the hand. So here is the wizard hand here over your ear. So that hand is going to be really activating you and supporting you. Again, this book is called The 13 Moon Almanac of Synchronicity, The White Overtone Wizard, and there are many books that are connected to this teaching. I do not encourage you to get into it if you have not been awoken. The flame and the fire of the higher beings, once you access this information, and if you have not been called or you're not ready, it can burn you. It can start to cause chaos in your life where you feel like you're out of control. So it's only for those who are ready, and Diana is ready. There was a couple of things that she just couldn't get rid of in her energy. Just a couple of things that just plain out wouldn't go, and now they're gone. So we're gonna do one more thing for you, Diana, and that is let's look at you as a superhero. I really like to do this because it's fun. Can you hear the bells that ring? The birds they sang at the break of day. Start again, I heard them say, don't dwell on things that have passed away or what is yet to be. Oh, you have Toth here. Oh, the wars. Oh, you have that Sphinx again. What is going on with you and the Sphinx? And you have an elf. Okay, I know exactly what's going on. They will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be cut again. Bought, then sold, then bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. I don't know what you're holding. You keep holding a staff. So you have, I keep hearing a language that you're speaking, almost like you're speaking in tongues, and you're connecting with some ancestors. And these ancestors are connecting you to an elephant energy. And they are singing with you. You have people who are ancient, who are ready and willing to get you to say, Maria, Mara Ahana, Shia, something in a language. And you're going to speak. And so here's the Sphinx again. And there's a pyramid. And I think this is an arc. And you have a rainbow bridge or some kind of lights coming out of your eyes, and you're activating something. You're literally, and you're using water, magnetized water. I know. And you got to use a certain thing though. You have Maraha. Okay. Spirit, please tell me what the words are. What's happening here? Because, so what's happening here, below the pyramids, way below the pyramids, is something. And somebody, some of us, are here to activate something. And I had a friend who researched the pyramids, and she said that the water below the pyramid is magnetic. And so what you do is you use the magnetism from a staff and you hit it, and then with one hand, with the other hand, there's a power up here. I don't know if it's electricity. I don't know what it is. I know that the elephant represents a lower world. So maybe because of a magnetism. So if you are in the magnetism and the electric is here, I see a language. It says, I'm going to try to speak it. What does it say? Thank you. It says, okay. Hara, like a hare. All right, so the word hare. But like that, Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna. But it's Hare. It's Hare Krishna. Oh, yes, you have this eye, and it goes like this, and there's a rainbow that comes out of the eye, and it makes a light like this on top, and you're saying some kind of Hare Krishna, Hare Maya, Hare Mana, Maya Mana, but Krishna, and that ah sound is very important. And then there's this other word. It says, well, it's not in English. Okay, it's like this, and then it goes like this, and then it has this, and then like that, and then my eyes automatically sees it and wants to turn it into English. But at first, when I first saw it, it reminded me of strange language that is bent or straight, like always just like not curvy, not like this, straight, like bam, 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 sharp edges, like that. And anyway, Hare, Kri, Hare Kri, Hare Kri, Bari. Anyway, I don't know. I think that this Hare Krishna type of energy is I'm sorry, but we keep playing games here. We keep thinking that we're this, we're that, we're the other, and you have no idea, and we have no idea that we are very closely connected to an ancient energy that has expectations for us. And one of those expectations is to activate the earth and activate a rainbow bridge over the earth to really get us into the golden age where we don't have to work. We do the will of God. Every day I get up and I do these readings. You guys pay me for them sometimes. Sometimes I do them for free. Would I do them if you didn't pay me because I had $1 billion in the bank? Absolutely. Why? Because I'm told to. I do what Spirit tells me to. I wouldn't sit here and give away free readings every day and have no money in my bank account. It would be backwards. It wouldn't work. So once we activate the golden age and we access and we resurrect, it's a resurrection stone he's holding right here. Once we resurrect something, it's like a tomb. Something's being resurrected. It doesn't look like the Statue of Liberty, kind of. Statue of Liberty is always celebrated on 7/4. That's 11. Anyway, you're here to resurrect something, and it says ark spelled backwards. So there's something that's being resurrected. Oh, Krishna is not Krishna. It's ark. You got to get rid of the other stuff. Oh, he says there's something wrong with Hare Krishna. It's not Hare Krishna, he says. He says it's Hare Kra, ark. Hare Kra. Well, who put Krishna there? Krish, I-S-H-N? Who did that? I-S-H-N. Ishin. Nope, that's not it. It's Kra. It's the white hare of Noah has found the Ark of the Covenant. The white rabbit is a sacred symbol of a sacred geometrical shape known as the triquetra. You're the one, Neo, who needs your Trinity. Who is your Trinity? The white hare. The white hare of Noah who has the ark. Who's the ark? Who has the ark? Krishna. Is Krishna his name? No. No, there's something wrong. Kra. Okay. So Hare, R. It's the god R. Hark. Hark the herald angels sing. H-A-R-K. Ah-ha-ha. Hark. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, so the god Ra is the god of the sun, and he is the eye of Ra. But that's not his name. When the sun flips its magnetic polarity, his name is R from Armenia. He is the god of the sun, and he is also the eye. So we were misled about the god Ra from the Egyptian pyramid. Well, the god R is from Armenia. This is where the ark was found on Mount Ararat. And Jesus spoke Aramaic. And then, of course, you have a lot of R's with Mary. And then you have the myth of Ra, Mithra. And Ragnarok is Ra, R, Ok. And anyway, Ragnarok is a battle of the gods. Really is about an upside down world. It really should be backwards. R was the real god, not Ra. And it was called Twilight. The Battle of Ragnarok is literally called Twilight. It's the vampires versus the wolves, right? Well, Mithra, Zoroaster, and Jesus all come from Armenia, Jerusalem, or Iran with Zoroastrianism, which is near Transylvania. And all three of them say, drink my blood and live forever. And I know Jesus doesn't like dogs because he told a woman who said, please heal my daughter. And he said, I don't throw bread to dogs. He doesn't like dogs. So the Battle of Ragnarok is the immortal ones versus the mortal ones. It's really an allegory that if you have not heard the voice of God, you're considered a dog. It is the curse of Cain. It is the canines. The canines for 7 generations. Some people who are still stuck in the number 7, they can't hear God. They don't do the will of God. They refuse to hear God. And then those who do hear God, they have 2 souls. They are the original Adam and Eve. They live forever like a vampire. And all 3 of these are near Transylvania. And they all said, drink my blood and live forever. They're all the same story. And so anyway, so Hare Krishna is not Hare Krishna. It is the god R. Hark, the herald, angels sing. It is hark. And anyway, you're here to rebirth the true golden age of Aquarius through your life. Let me tell you something, Diana. In your lifetime, you will be asked to hold a staff and use your voice to speak the real God and the real name. And who is the God R's wife? Well, you have to understand God is not a person. They are a place. So this is Sun. His wife's name is Haya. Now, Haya is very connected to Maya. You have Maya in your piece. It's just a place that dominates Ya. Ya is the moon. Ya means moon. Ha is like the earth. They changed her name to Gaia. Haya, Gaia, and then you have Freya, Emma, Ya. They all are earth that dominates the moon. Sun, earth, moon. But her name was spelled Hala, like that, not Haya. It was like Haya with 2 L's there. And so it's like Valhalla, but it's Allah spelled backwards. So the male aspect of God is the sun, which is the god R, and his wife is Allah, which is, it's our Allah, like that. That's the true name, but it's Haya or Hala, like Valhalla, but it's a secret. Not everybody knows this. Anyway, whether I'm right or not, I could be wrong. That's what your reading is telling us, that Krishna is not Krishna. It is Kre, Shna is, nope, it's Kra, and it's Kra, Kra. It's like Hari Kra. It's hark. And it's the ark. And it's like Kra backwards. So there's some secret names that are being revealed to you. I wouldn't go around telling people this. But anyway. So Maya and Haya and Haya, Har and Re and Maya and Haya are the names there. And then Kra is ark. And then you have ark backwards here too. And it's strange that it's spelled backwards. I don't understand it. So anyway, under the pyramid is the ark. You, once you have been activated, have the rainbow eyes. You use some kind of strange thing. You may have to go to Egypt. I don't know if you can do this telepathically. I don't know. You have an energy coming out here. You have your hand up here to the elephant. and you speak a name. And I'm giving you some information about what that name is, and you're going to have to figure this out. Now, Thoth is known as the master architect. He supposedly created all this. He said you can't escape unless you know certain secrets, and he's here to tell you a secret. Something about a resurrection stone. Something about this symbol. This X-looking symbol right there. Something about the face of this being the Holy Grail. And you're like the Statue of Liberty. You know who's the Statue of Liberty, don't you? Mithra, the myth of Ra. Ra? R. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. I don't know. How are you going to find some kind of cave or some place if you have to do it remotely? Maybe that's what that is. You're going to remotely remove a stone off of this. And it's going to activate the golden earth. And I don't know what's going to happen. But that's what you're designed to become. That's what you're destined to do. And the wicked witch that says, oh, if I can just distract Dorothy, she will never know how much power she has or even what she's meant to do here. Oh, Missy, don't be distracted. No, ma'am, no way. You're here to activate through sound frequency all the pieces of the body of Osiris. You are Iris. You're the goddess of the rainbow. You're going to activate this rainbow through the wizard. You're going to take this wizard energy and you're going to do great things. But it takes diligence and work. This is where you are now. This is what you've been activated to. This is your Holy Grail. You've birthed into Newt. The Holy Grail is your face. And then here comes your future. And this is you. Independence Day. Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is a day of reckoning. Let the weak be strong. Let the right be wrong. Roll the stone away. Ah ha ha. Let the guilty pay. It's Independence Day. Yeah, that's why we were ringing a bell. It's kind of overwhelming, this one. Absolutely overwhelming. A little bit, I don't believe my own words. A little bit, oh my gosh, is this really true? A little bit, what is this? I don't understand. A little bit, I wonder if I'm showing everything. Did I give you all the information that you need? Is there something that we're missing here? Is there some information that I'm leaving out that you need to get a better understanding? There's a dinosaur in there. There's a dragon. It's a dragon. It's a dinosaur in there. I don't know what that means. And I think there's souls in there. Trapped souls. Unicorn energies. Souls. Old souls. I feel very strongly that we're supposed to do this collectively, and you're just a piece that needs to be doing this. And, well, you don't have to worry about it today. Do need to think about it, though. You do have the praying mantis energy here. Now, the praying mantis isn't what I thought he was. It is like Christ consciousness. It's an activation code. It's simply a matrix design that everyone should be familiar with. It's this. The praying mantis right here. And I don't understand him yet. I don't understand how to access the codes yet. Yet. I will say yet. I'm reading your comments now. You saved a praying mantis last year and released one over here near the burial mound. I think that praying mantis is an activation. When you guys start seeing praying mantises, they are a signal that you are being activated to hear numerology and to ask you to become an alchemist. An alchemist becomes an alchemist because they are called to. An alchemist steps into the duty of becoming more than human. You begin to realize that God speaks to you through symbology. And these symbols aren't literal, they're metaphorical. They are a place where you are currently and how to escape limitations of mind, limitations of relationships. And it goes like this. You were upside down, underwater. And then as the sun flips every 11 years, the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. We are upside down, then we go right side up. Then we go upside down again. And that upside down place is the 33 mark, where Jesus died at 33 and we have 33 vertebrae in our spine. Then there's a precipice when we go through a divine marriage of flesh and spirit, when we hear and see God in its totality. And we go back up again, and that's the last time. And that's the number 44. So these are all symbols that you're like, I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what this means. You see a pyramid that's upside down, and there's a dragon asleep inside the pyramid. You see the black ravens. This is where we are sometimes. We haven't flipped. The flipping transforms the black into white and takes a sleeping dragon and wakes it up. And when your dragon wakes up, it's angry. You'll start feeling angry. You'll start feeling restless. You'll start feeling depressed. You'll start feeling terrible things. You'll feel like the world's ending. You'll feel like you've died. Once the triangle is back up and you've left the earthbound world and the roots, you've gone into your rose. A rose is called the 144,000. And this is when you start going crazy. Many people at this precipice, when they start waking up to their higher self, they can often, the pressure and the emotion of it, the energy of it can be so overwhelming that some people go crazy. Some people die. Some people feel like dying. Some people step into it and say, I'm going to just fight through all of these thoughts and feelings because I know for a fact that everyone else is going through it and we're going to get through this together. And then finally you reach a precipice when all of those ugly feelings disappear. And suddenly you have reached a barrier where you are like a superhero now. Then you turn into Doctor Strange. Then watch out. And then you will be tested. Are you going to use your power for ego, self-importance, low self-worth? Or are you going to actually just do it for the will of God in divine timing? And this is where it gets tricky. But at first, when you first start to awaken, you will fight your dragon. It's your higher self. It is a gateway that you can only cross if you allow the dragon to eat you. And to be eaten by the dragon is an alchemical understanding that your higher self must dominate your flesh. The flesh is not in control. Ego does not control the heart. The heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain. Your heart controls the brain. Your spirit controls the flesh. Your spirit is eternal, and your spirit is a fractal and a mirror of the Holy Spirit and all of the spirits of God. There are 7 spirits of God in the Bible. And once we know this, then we obey our higher self, who is a time traveler. We allow the dragon to eat us. To be eaten by the dragon is to be in the eye of the dragon, which is invisibility. It means you've become illuminated like a Christmas tree. And you are going to step into a gift like the presents under the Christmas tree. It means you have stepped into the 12 Egyptian gates, and you have entered into the halls of the gods. The teachings of the gods will be given to you piece by piece, not all at once. You will be tested the entire time. And once you pass the tests, and these tests will determine whether you will be given the Philosopher's Stone or not. It all depends on how you use the information. Yeah, so this book particular is called The Study Course on Alchemical Symbolism by Adam McLean. I very much enjoy the layout of this book, the symbolisms and their explanation. I believe that he is a bit egotistical for me. The blue shirt that he's wearing is on purpose. He knows the top part of your biofield is blue. So he's very intelligent, however, and that he put roses behind him. There's certain things about even this picture that makes him intelligent, but he is still dominated by ego, and I can see it when I read it. So he has not transcended completely, in my opinion. Because you have to have the heart of a child. You really do. You have to say, I can be wrong. But he says in his book, you have to do it exactly like this and exactly like that. Not true. We are not bound by the written word. Your higher self is unwritten. What's the purpose of the Holy Spirit, which is the Spirit of truth, if all of your answers are in a book? You don't need the Holy Spirit if all of the answers are in a book. Holy Spirit talks to your heart and will tell you some things that not everyone will agree with. We will all have our own access codes. So this is called the 13 Moon Almanac of Synchronicity. It's the White Overtone Wizard. Not everyone should read this, because literally these activation codes are for when you're ready. If you feel led to it, get it. And then there's a website and some other information where you can get more of these books. And I have a lot of books that you guys could get into. But so it's not Hare Krishna, it's Hare Kra. And that's the arc spelled backwards. And maybe some people purposely pronounce it differently for the purpose of keeping the ignorant ones out of the truth. And that's often how they do it. They will give you the false name. Why did the god Ra? Why is that his false name? Why aren't we allowed to know what his real name is? Because the ignorant ones, they hurt themselves and others ignorantly. And they can hurt the heavens through misusing sacred geometry and sacred names. So they will lengthen the name of Krishna, to get you there until you're ready to hear it. You cannot pronounce Ra's real and full name. What? Look at the dragon. Who did that? Who did that? Who did that dragon? That was so cute. Oh, Diana, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Loretta. How are you doing, my darling? It's so good to see you. Diana, I don't know how many followers you have on TikTok, but you're so welcome to come live with me and we can talk about this, because it's surprising to me. It's actually pretty shocking to me. And I almost feel embarrassed that it came forward, in the sense that I feel like a liar sometimes, because it's so shocking that I'm like, I don't know if I was seeing correctly, but I think that it is correct. But I think that you should talk to your higher self and get confirmation in case I'm a little off. You know what I mean? So let me see. I'll try. It's always good to see you too, Yaya. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Black. Thank you, Black Raven. Let me see here. I'll see if you have the ability, because I don't know if you want to even talk, because some people are like, nah. Oh, I haven't even followed you. TikTok says the number of followers that you have has exceeded its limit. That bothers me. Can we start another platform, please, and pretty please, where we can give this information and people are interested in it? We don't have to have a set of rules here and all that. This is just ridiculous. I feel like I'm in Mickey Mouse land. So anyway, I sent you an invite if you want to come live. I think it'll still work, even though I'm not friends with you. You follow me, and I haven't followed you back because I can't. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you think about this
Fantastic.
read?
That's quite a lot.
I know.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's going to give me a lot to ponder today
Mm-hmm.
and the days to come.
Do you know
Uh,
anything about Hare Krishna?
I will educate myself a little bit more now.
Yeah. I believe what people say, and we can read in the comments. I think I've heard that Hare Krishna is like Christ consciousness, and it's that green energy of that avatar, Vishnu, that I saw when I envisioned you as a child.
Hmm.
I think that the energy of that being is just an immortal being that has energy that are telepathic downloads that we can access at a certain precipice when we raise our frequency, and they have many names.
Yeah.
But
Life
but this,
life path number is 8. Birthstone is emerald. No coincidence there, right?
yeah, right. Um, it's almost as if Toth is saying one of your number eights is a philosopher's stone that is a almost like a stone that gets moved once you see the number eight with the two angels on the ark right here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's incredible. If this is your higher self in a higher realm, I'm not sure what we access, to be honest. But this is you. You're in the white wizard, and this means that um, you're basically you're going to have access to things most people who are in their lower self will not have access to, and it's a secret for you and for very minimal others. So you're not going to be sharing a lot of what you will be receiving with others because they will not be able to accept it or understand it or even um, understand it. They won't be able to complete what it means. So you're being led into a gate, and you will be challenged and strengthened while you're in this gate. You will be astral traveling and stepping into an oracle ability. If you haven't stepped into your oracle and channeling abilities, sometimes it happens like a thief in the night. I met a woman, or I saw a woman on television the other day, say she was just sitting in her chair, and all of a sudden she could hear people talking, and she was like, "Where's this coming from?" And then all of a sudden she started hearing the dead. And then all of a sudden the people who died were like trying to get in her head and trying to get her to tell people things, and it scared her. And she didn't know that there were support groups for psychics, channelers, and oracles that can set appointments with these ghosts or with these spirits. So this literally means that you're a channeler, and this is a channel here. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will.
I've got my seatbelt on. I'm I'm not scared. Let me open up my eyes and not be scared and just get ready.
Yeah, so seek first the kingdom of God, and that doesn't mean what religions have taught us. It's behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape, and we start envisioning the ones that are inclusive of power and pleasure and peace and prosperity. And knowing what those codes and those shapes are opens gates that other people don't have access to, because literally to behold the number eight is to become a master that walks on water.
Well, the shaker is kind of a interesting thing. I just realized and just learned that I can go down to the ocean 2 blocks from my house, get the ocean water, and actually boil it down to make salt.
Oh.
And you've got a salt shaker in my picture. I'm like,
Isn't it
oh,
weird how
okay.
spirit does that? Because sometimes spirit will give you the most random symbol, but for
Yeah.
some reason, so so here, okay, so here is salt, and then here is that prism here.
Hmm.
And okay, I know what it means, Diana. So thank you for going live with me, because salt, prism, rainbow, heart. All right. Um, your biofield can lose power, which you were a little bit, from things that we don't see, like technology. Your let me just explain it like this. And I don't know what it is around you that's harming you. It's a symbol from spirit saying, yes, go to the ocean. Yes, make salt. Why? Probably because of your biofield. So your biofield looks like the number 8. It's your higher self is connected by a silver cord above it. And it looks like an apple. An apple with a bite out of it means there's a technology that's literally feeding off of your biofield. There are many videos by some woman, what is her name? Sabrina Wallace, I think is her name. She teaches us about the covert aspect of Apple iPhones and what they are doing to our biofield. So an apple with a bite out of it means a tether or a tear in your biofield where you're leaking power. And so your cell phone emits positive ions, and cell towers, microwaves, air conditioned homes, sitting in the air conditioning all day, being in front of a computer all day inundates you with positive ions to such a degree that it can put a tear or a hole in your biofield where you're leaking power and you cannot hear these codes or these activations. So your higher self is literally saying, the ocean, the sun hitting salt emits such a large amount of negative ions, and that's how your lymph node cleans and clears its body, is through salt. Salt is a crystal. So when you get a Himalayan salt lamp like this one up here, it's heat and salt emits negative ions. Well, you're a negative ion emitter because you are 75% water, and your sweat is salty and your tears are salty. So that warmth of your body and the salt that's on your body is supposed to help your heart chakra really gain its momentum so that you can do your astral travels, you can become an oracle, a psychic medium, whatever they're wanting you to do, but more importantly, to activate something on the earth. That's crazy to me. I know it sounds crazy. But when we eat too much soda, drink too much soda, coffee, especially, it's acidic, or eat too much sugar or carbs that transforms into sugar, our lymph nodes has a difficult time creating this salt, which is a natural antibiotic, to make our biofield to be strong with electromagnetism. So when you look at your last piece, this is literally about your health of your biofield. Here you have magnetism. Here you have electricity. Electromagnetism, your biofield is right here also. So in addition to all those other things, going to the ocean is going to be really powerful for you, because if you do sit in front of a computer, on your phone, inside all the time, this is a very big communication to you that, look at it. If you want to activate that prism into the rainbow and activate your heart chakra, salt.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. And so this is all about you and your body being activated also. So think not that these readings are just about, oh, my higher self or whatever. You literally have beings from the spirit world, one particular who's right there behind you. I would have to say like older woman, and she's there to help you with this bridging of your physical mind and your physical body with your higher self, who is singing and being activated with the rainbow. And there's the salt again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the praying mantis, I'm just going to go back a little bit. It might sound silly to people who are listening and commenting, but there are probably a dozen praying mantises, females, in my yard that I go out and feed worms every other day.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And it's right here on top of the elephants. Like,
and they're laying their hatches in the tree in my yard. There's probably 6 or 7 of those that will then hatch, and more will be in my yard.
I love
So,
them. Aren't they so cool? They're like so intelligent.
yeah, I can actually hold them and feed them a worm from my hand.
Oh, you should do a TikTok video on it. I want to see
There,
it.
yeah, I have a couple on I don't have a whole lot of videos. I'm more of a watcher than a
Yeah.
creator.
Yeah.
But there's a
That's
couple
gonna
little
change.
cute
Yeah.
ones that I put on there that there's a couple of them that were in my garden.
So you
A few
remember the
videos.
story I told you about the praying mantis with the Peter Pan,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all about your transcendence. Now, I met Bear Raim. His name is Bear Raim. He comes from Iran. But he's a shapeshifter in the sense that they don't have a physical body, and they come, and what they do is they give the power of myth to humanity to wake them up. So the Peter Pan story, Wizard of Oz, all of these stories are from an invisible realm that spoke to someone invisibly in order to wake humanity up from the power of myth. They're actually not visible.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have what this Sphinx is and what the Toth is and what is going on with all of this with and why you're at below the Sphinx and what that communication is to you, and with the arc and the Hare, Krishna and the Kra and all that. Um, what I would do is I would take a picture of this as it is, not in a, when not in a digital painted form, as it is, and utilize it as a magical square. So here's what you're gonna do. You'll crop it and then contrast it so you can see it in its totality. And you just allow the imagery of the tetrahedron, the bird, the elephant, everything to kind of solidify and carbon copy and permeate in your brain, and then dream. And then collect power like we've always talked about. Clean house, clean car, clean your diet, da 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 da. Collecting power, life energy. You should be able to sustain memory of your dreams and then write down your dreams. But this is a magical square, and what it does is it's a code. So you're going to look at these codes, and you're going to look at the box, you're going to look at this, you're going to look at this, you're going to look, and it's going to awaken something with you like a hatching egg. Aha, like this hatching egg we had.
Right in the beginning.
And then, yeah, so over time, you're going to start, collecting more information.
I'm
For
gonna
me, it took
bust out the
years.
crayon box and print these off and color them to bring out the inner child. Then I will,
Yes.
yes, yes, meditate with them.
And then post it on TikTok. I think you're supposed
Okay.
to be a co-creator. You're supposed to be a content creator of sorts. It's almost as if they're saying, take TikTok to the beach.
Yeah.
Take TikTok to the beach. Tell people about negative ions. Tell people what you're doing. Show people what you're doing. Show them how you're feeding the praying mantises. Get a good following and begin to um, use your voice more. And that's what I'm seeing is your challenge here. Your throat chakra is absolutely challenged by the monkey, but it will
Well,
be relieved by the dragon.
I don't have a thyroid.
Mm,
Surgically and radiation removed it. So I daily have to take a medication just to keep my balanced hormones in check.
Diana,
So that might be
that's what
part of it.
That's what that is about. Your thyroid
Mm-hmm.
and salt is so important. Why the monkey's on your throat? The monkey and something about you eating,
Mm-hmm.
something about that, something about your throat, something about, and what they're trying to tell you is for you to heal your throat area, that bell looking symbol, you should envision it over your throat. That's it's called the father symbol, and
Okay.
it's connected to the wizard. So what you do is you envision this golden light, and even I'm having a hard time talking while I'm envisioning your throat chakra. A golden light over your throat with that cross, and for me, what I like to do what I don't like to do what I'm told, first of all. So they tell me in this book, do this, say this, and my higher self goes, mm-mm. Take that shape, and instead of it being a black cross, make it go bling like a video game, and activate it, and then make it like gold or shiny or sparkly, and put it over every day over your throat chakra. Secondly, absolutely you need salt.
Mm-hmm.
And that salt energy is going to help to activate your heart chakra to really get you um, to bump up a little bit, and watch what you eat. Watch how much sugar
Right.
you eat or like sodas
Yeah,
or
I cut out coffee after listening to you.
yeah. Do you drink honey
I don't
with
do the
tea? Hot tea with honey?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
But
good.
Himalayan salt lamp is on its way from the Zon,
Good.
um, and
And
that will
Himalayan has
help.
over 84 minerals, so you can take the Himalayan salt lamp and wash it one time, and then before you go to bed, lick it. Nom, nom, nom. And it gives you 84 minerals, and that 84 mineral just helps to activate your biofield and everything. Don't eat too much salt, but you're definitely being communicated with about that throat chakra area.
Good.
Um, yeah. Um, and it's almost like they said, "Oh, it was just cobweb over your throat, and we're gonna like remove it or something." And you're the holder of the number 8, so this is so you, Diana. And I think I would be like la la la, like so excited
Yes.
because they can see you. You've been observed, and you've been set free from some jerks here for sure. Something
Thank
that
goodness.
maybe, yeah. But it was doing something to you. I don't know how or what, but not anymore.
Fantastic.
You want me to what I'll do is I'll take pictures of it and send them to you, and that way you can print them out and
Perfect.
paint them or color them or whatever you want to do. And I think coloring them actually does help.
I agree.
Well, big hugs from me to you, and let us know how everything goes as far as this activation and what you're experiencing to go through this upgrade. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
Diana.
welcome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Have a great day.
Oh, you too, darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's see. There we go. So wow. Can you say wow, wow, wow? That was just incredible. Um, Sometimes you guys get a reading from me and you think I'm doing such a great job and I'm so in contact with my higher self and I'm going to look like a princess on a spaceship supported by angels and it's going to be the best read ever. And it shows an alien or it shows something that you didn't expect. We don't know what we're going to get, right? And so this was shocking. I mean, literally shocking that Diana's activation was inclusive of Hare Krishna, which I don't know much about either, to be honest. I've I've watched a couple of sitcoms like 90 Day Fiance, Jenny and Sumit. She went to this temple and they were teaching her that she had to say Hare Krishna this amount of times and I was like, that's kind of cool. I actually like that. I love the idea of going into a place that's open 24/7 where you can go and be in a sacred place like that instead of these churches that we have today. And I started to look into Hare Krishna a little bit. But then to see that Hare Krishna isn't Hare Krishna, that he's the ark and the Hari, and that there's something here that I may be missing the point, and that she is activating the ark that is Krishna, and some things that I don't understand. It's like I don't know, like, and Hare Krishna is connected to Ganesh and the elephant. And then you have the praying mantis that's in her yards there. So this is all confirmation that these things will come to fruition. And when we're talking about the fruiting of our awareness, they talk about it in this book. And it's called um, um, hold on. I think it was in the beginning. It's where I am currently. I'm in the number 4. And because of my birthday and because of many things and oh, okay, so I am in the south. I am in the color yellow, and I am in a place where power ripens fruit. So some people are in knowledge initiates view. Some people are in humility refines meditation. Some people are in patience transforms conduct. I am currently in the same color that you're in, Diana, this yellow color here. I am in power ripens fruit. And hunting for power entails cleanliness, changing our diet, envisioning certain sacred geometrical shapes, writing these shapes out, practicing them, um, uh, trusting, faith, trust, and pixie dust, basically. See, this was Friday, December 8th, and I was supposed to put this symbol and that symbol as far as this date is on the calendar, and I did that. Haha, I didn't do anything for 3 days. I was supposed to. So I'm not supposed to miss a day, but anyway, this is all about the awakening. And they say if you do this every single day and you envision these certain shapes, they're called plasmas, and you breathe the plasmas in, you'll start opening gates. And this is connected to the 12 gates. And these gates will open truth, and the truths will open opportunity, and opportunity will open power, and power ripens the fruit. And the more ripe your fruit is, the more you will fly. Where I keep having dreams of someone going, "You can't fly," and I'm like, "Watch me. Just give me less than a second, and I fly, and I fly really high." I flew with my son on my back. My son was like, I looked at him and I said, "You know, I'm your true mother." He's my son-in-law. And we laughed and giggled, and he landed on my back, and I said, "Are you ready to fly?" And he's like, "You can't fly." And I said, "Oh, yes, I can." He goes, "You can't fly with me on your back either." And I was like, "Oh, yes, I can." And I flew. And I flew, and I was only, thank you so much. Who did that? Thank you so much, baby. Thank you. Was that Mila? Thank you so much. And I flew, I was on the ground, and then I was like, is it because he's on my back that I'm flying so low to the ground? And I told myself, stop thinking that. And then I raised up, and we flew up to the ceiling, and we were flying around, and everyone was like, whoa, show me how to do that. So I think this flying is something that we're going to experience on the spirit realm. The higher that you fly, where we see Diana in her second piece up here, flying above a building. The higher you fly, the more power you have. And so I was inside a building flying at the top of a ceiling, which means that that I wasn't outside of the building. I was inside, and I wasn't flying up high. So I may be losing power, and I need to collect more power in order to see myself flying higher, perhaps. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Yes. And you guys please with me, because this isn't my reading, this is our reading. We're in this together. Please tell me if you think I'm off base, where I heard Hare, and then Krishna is not Krishna, it's Ark spelled backwards, where the Ishna is not there. It's Hari Kra or Maya Kra, where Haya Kra is also connected. Maybe it's another language. Maybe it's a word in another language that we're not, but let's think about it. Yeah. Oh, you saw a crown throat waterfall. Yeah. That could be a waterfall has good and negative connotations. If you dream of going over a waterfall, it's a relationship that you had with whomever is associated with that waterfall is going to end, possibly forever. I dreamed of a waterfall with my sister, and I don't think I'll ever talk to her again. And another person on this app who betrayed me, I dreamed that I was going over a waterfall with them, and then I knew that our relationship had ended. So when you dream of a waterfall, like you're on top of it and you're falling over, it's a relationship that is permanently ending. But to be under a waterfall is a blessing. It's a powerful energy that is bestowing upon you living waters, downloads, information from higher realms. Yeah, the waterfall, when I first saw Niagara Falls, I was shocked that the fence that blocked you from falling over was only waist high. I had nightmares about that. The water was so deep and so powerful and so strong. It's like right before the water goes over the waterfall, it's just slow and dark. And then it goes over and it's white and it's loud and it's powerful. And it scared me. I was like, why would they put a fence this low? You know, have some jerk standing next to you. You're tired of them. Don't feel like going through a divorce. Hey, honey, look at this. What is it, honey? I'll just bend over a little bit. You see that fish right there? Bam. She's over the waterfall. He, she, whatever. You know, I was like, come on. Who built this fence, right? It scared me. Waterfalls do scare me a little bit. The helicopter into the falls. Oh, you did the helicopter into the falls? That does sound scary. All that water, a little bit of a wind blows too much and then the water splashes up on the propellers of the helicopter and bam. That's scary. You had a dream that you were in the middle of a tsunami, but I didn't drown. The last time I dreamed of a tsunami, I lived in the Cayman Islands and I was only there for I think about 6 months, or I don't know how long I was there. That place is a heaven, and they have a law there that if you don't get voted on the island, you can't live there. And I was visited by some invisible people. So I'll tell you a little story, and this will help us understand sometimes our dreams about tsunamis and tornadoes. So tornadoes are also a symbol that something drastic, your life is going to drastically change, move, drastically change. It's going to shift timelines. You're going to shift reality, basically. But a tsunami. So here I was in the Cayman Islands. My daughter was like 2 years old. She was almost 2 years old. I was still breastfeeding her. We walked everywhere. We didn't have a car. The island is only 21 miles long and 7 miles wide. And we lived right on the canal. And there were these giant lizards that lived there, and we would feed them. And I loved it there. I would sing every day. I loved it there. I felt like I was becoming more and more alive, like I was getting younger. I felt so heavenly there. And I noticed this man with dark skin and white puffy hair following me. He looked like this. He had dark skin and very puffy white hair. Maybe a longer chin. He was like bit like that, and he followed me everywhere. And I was freaked out. I was sitting in the restaurant with my husband, and there he was looking at me in the window. I was like, what? And anyway, then this woman with dark skin came to me in my room, and here I was laying in bed, sleeping, and my daughter slept with me in bed. I never put her away from me. She was always with me. My husband was right here. And my astral body got up. And I looked at the bed and I saw myself laying there. I saw everybody there and I could hear heartbeats. I could hear breathing. It was like I had supersonic hearing. And there was this woman with dark hair and dark skin. And she was sitting with very fuzzy, crazy looking hair with hardly any clothing on, like this. And she looked at me and she said, hold on. You don't belong here. You can't see me. And it was like she was trying to put a spell over me, saying, you can't see me, like that, like telling my subconscious mind, you can't see me. And I sat right in front of her and sat just like her. And I said, I can see you and I can touch you. And I touched her and she disappeared. And then I lost a significant amount of power. My astral body fell down like this. And I was like laying there and I panicked and thought, how am I going to get back to my body? And the minute I started to panic, bam, I went back to my body. And then the next day after she came and decided I didn't belong on the island, that I wasn't allowed, the next day, I had a dream that I was running through a jungle and a giant tsunami was coming and gonna devour me. And I was just running. And a boat was keeping me from that place. And and I didn't want to leave that place. Well, the next day, a hurricane came, or was said to have come, and the ocean turned horrific, dark, where it was beautiful. And then the lizard died. And I was just like, what is going on? Everything turned horrible. And the threat of the hurricane was such that we had to leave the island. So we got into a plane, we went back home, and we never went back. So, so, um, the reason I was kicked out of the island was because I couldn't hear God at all at that time. I wasn't an oracle. I was angry at the world. I hated the world. I pretty much hated people. I didn't even really like my own husband at that time. The only person I really liked were my kids. I have two girls, and we walked around together like we were best friends, and that's all I wanted. I didn't really like, my husband that much, and I didn't like other humans either. So I was kicked off because I had not forgiven. I had not recapitulated. I had not woken up. I did not love God. I did not love anybody. I had a lot of anger, a lot of self-importance and low self-worth. And so I wasn't allowed. Suffice it to say that that island might be a heaven of sorts. And you will be kicked out after a certain amount of time. They will come to you invisibly and say, nope. And you will not be able to live there. What I experienced was a hurricane. I don't know what they experienced, but there are powers everywhere. Some places are places of powers, and I'm going to say that the Cayman Islands is a place of power for sure. Absolutely, 100%. But will you be able to stay there? Probably not if you can't hear or see the unseen world. So that was my experience. Yeah, I mean, now I love my husband, but at that time, he was a alcoholic, and I really just I didn't expect that when I married him. He wasn't that, and he's a very giving, kind person, but the Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, I love you during the day, and then oh, I hate you at night. I really didn't like him at that time, but anyway, it was just me and my daughter Hannah at that time. Anyway, they didn't like me. And then the people of the island started kind of being offish with me too. It was almost like they could talk through people. And so I guess I was the jerk to them. And I guess I was. I probably was. Because one way to keep human beings out of my heart is to hate them. One way to keep people from hurting me the way I'd been hurt most of my life is, well, judging people, um, being a hypocrite, jealous, or whatever. Those are all ways of protecting yourself. It's not that you're a jerk. It's just that, oh my gosh, I can't believe how far a human being will go to hurt an innocent child or an animal or the earth or each other. I can't believe that I wasn't protected by God. I can't believe that I was so innocent and such a dancing light wanting to love everyone, and someone just took a knife and stabbed me, right? And so what your inner child does to protect itself from that ever happening again is it goes, you know what? I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I'm jealous of you. A hypocrite of you. I'm going to be judging you. And you keep these religions against you and other people and blah, 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 blah. And it never ends because you never truly forgive. And yeah, so once you realize that all of those bad character traits are just a wall to protect your beautiful heart chakra, your innocent little child who just really wanted to love the world, then you realize, okay, we have to fix this. But what we're going to do is realize that there are predators in the world. Yes, there's a bunch of jerks. We get it. We're going to set really wonderful boundaries against those jerks, healthy boundaries, and then realize that there are people who are very much in alignment with God and very much see you for who you are and love you. And I'm going to open my heart to them, close my heart to them, because we just see them as little children who aren't ready. Obviously, they haven't figured it out yet. And so that's the balance, I think. How do people not in 0 point energy feel about people in 0 point energy? That's a very good question. I'm actually going to highlight that question. Pen your comment. Maybe Spirit can reveal something about that. So here's what we'll do is this will help me to verbalize this. There are people who are in 0 point energy, and this means that you had the ability to not be self-important, not have low self-worth. You've forgiven. You're aware that the world is black and white, up and down, yes and no, and you have a higher self and all this stuff. All your power doesn't come from you, it comes from God, blah, blah, blah. And then there are people on the outskirts here who haven't come to 0 point energy yet. They might come in here for a minute, but they'll immediately leave because it's just their self-importance will push them out of the eye. It's kind of like an eye. So for those of us who are in the eye, they call us stars. They usually become actors, writers, singers. They basically are asked by God to create the power of myth through some sort of shining star. Gift. And the people on the outside don't know that the people. So here's what it is. So it's like a stadium. And the people who are outside of the eye usually worship the people who are in the eye, in the 0 point energy, because they usually become famous actors or famous people because they have everything working in their favor because they're doing the will of God. Now, of course, the dark ones take it and corrupt it. But so there's people here who are like putting their hand like this, smiling and like, oh my, I love this person so much. I don't know why I love this person so much. And you think about them and oh, you love them. And oh my goodness. And you don't realize that somebody standing on a stage who's performing, or somebody who is, let's see what this person's doing here. So the person who is in 0 point energy has done the will of God and they can do great things. Now, some people do the will of God and then they allow this corruption. So here they are, they're in 0 point energy, and they become like the face of Christ because they are Christ consciousness. They also have like Mary energy, and they have a wand. They're holding a wand here. And so the secret is, I think, the people who are in 0 point energy get devotion and love from these people who see you as a shining star. And they at first worship you, and they put their thoughts and their energy of you into their consciousness, and they get the fire on them from your God energy. And it usually hurts them at first. Usually they'll have to self-reflect on their low self-worth and their self-importance. And they will go through a lot of trauma and a lot of things in order to get into the center of this. So literally this is like this. It's the golden ratio. So it's like the people who are on the outskirts of the golden ratio don't know that their allegiance, they think their allegiance is to their religion, but it's really the famous people that they worship mostly. They put way more importance on that. So there's a lot of people who are shooting stars or shining stars, and they use the power of myth, acting, singing, writing for God's will. Of course, there is a dark side to it. There are those who become famous and they use their face and their energy so that when you connect with them, you get reptilians, you get archons, and you get a jerk on you or a djinn. But there are many people who are actually in the real eye, the real 0 point energy, who often become famous not because they wanted to, because God wanted their energy to affect all of humanity, and their positive magnetism was like a lighthouse to lost souls at sea. So the all-seeing eye of God wanted admiration for this person because they weren't admiring them, they were admiring the God within them. They weren't admiring their power, they were admiring the light of God. And that's the purpose of people who are up on stage, is so that you look at them, think about them, and by extension, you get the flame of the Holy Spirit or you get the flame of the dark one. Just all depends on where your allegiance is. If your allegiance is to see the light or the dark. But of course, the dark is never in 0 point energy. The dark ones, they use a false light. They use some sort of program. It looks like a computer. It looks like someone's mind is getting sucked into a computer. They use the face and the energy of certain people to suck you into artificial intelligence, which is the black box. It's like a box. And but anyway, both dark and light are in divine ebb and flow like the ocean. So if you get put into a prison, you'll fight your way out. Eventually, all of us walk the golden ratio and find our 0 point energy, and we all become like shooting stars. Once you do the will of God, you don't care whether you're famous or not. What you care about is whether or not you are affecting humanity with truth and life and joy and illumination, or not. And that's all that matters. So when you see a lot of famous people and you think, I don't want to think about that person, there's something in me that gives me a bad feeling to have their face in my face constantly. Don't think about them. Do you know how many times I've met Oprah Winfrey on the spirit realm because her face was in my face? Do you know how many politicians I've met on the spirit realm because their face was in my face and I was thinking about them? They want you to think about them. They want you to meet them on the spirit realm. They can manipulate you. The dark ones will manipulate you. The ones who are not dark, you will know when you meet them on the spirit realm. You will see their purpose and you'll see why they're here. You will see everything. That's why if you're going to have a relationship with somebody, if you're going to do anything, go meet them on the spirit realm first, because you're either dealing with artificial intelligence or you're dealing with a light person, and you'll know. Negative or positive, you let one in, 6 other ones are waiting to get in. Yeah. Untethering your biofield from someone else's is a mastery, and it's called the master of the net. And if you allow your dog to go into the garden of the reptilian wicked witch through your thoughts or your anger or anything, or just thinking about them, they will literally shift your reality like a tornado into theirs, and you will suffer their consequences. You will suffer their energy, and you will not be in the 0 point. You'll be thrown out here. And so learning to follow God and not dog will lead you to finding your home, your true home, because apparently if you're not in the eye of God, you're in a simulation. You're in a computer. You're in a false reality dominated by the mind of a reptilian, a mastermind. And so to get out of the web, the world wide web of the wicked witch of the West, is to get out of the letter W. Once you're out of the letter W, you get into the letter M, and that's the master that walks on water. And the master that walks on water is a master of your mind and a master of your biofield and a master of your thoughts. Seek first the kingdom of God, because if you're thinking about some famous person that was a trap, or you're thinking about the neighbor down the road and how much of a jerk they are, you will literally be tethered to their actions and their consequences. You'll start suffering their consequences. Let's say they have a lot of problems. Well, suddenly you'll start having a lot of problems. So being on the cross and taking on the sins of the world is something I did most of my life. Not anymore. I'm more ruthless and think that Jesus was kind. No. Mm-mm. Let's hear what Jesus had to say when it comes to people. Number 1, he said, don't throw pearl to swine. Number 2, he said to a woman who said, please heal my daughter, he said, I don't throw bread to dogs. He called her a dog. Number 3, Jesus said, if you don't hate your brother, your mother, your sister, even your own life, you cannot make it. Number 3, he said, you know a human by the fruit of their tree. Any tree that bears no fruit should be cut down and thrown into the fire. This ruthlessness is because when his disciples came up to Jesus and said, hey, Jesus, your mother is here. And he said, who is your mother and your father? Your mother and your father are those who follow God, not the lie. So this ruthlessness is paramount at a certain precipice in our awakening, and that is, hey, if you're going to follow lies, you're going to be into drugs and promiscuity, self-importance, low self-worth, being asleep, being ignorant, you can't hear the Holy Spirit. You can't hear your higher self. You can't hear God. Like I was kicked off that island, you'll get kicked off the island. And until I awaken and hear God and obey God, I won't be allowed here. And so I was sent out. Same with Dorothy. She was sent into the world of the Wicked Witch of the West. It took a long time for me to get to where I am now, and I'm not sure I'm even quite home yet. But those of us who are making our way back home, it's about our thoughts and where we sling our thoughts, where we sling our emotions. Seeking first the kingdom of God isn't just about thought. It's about actions are a prayer also. And so once you get into it, it's like, man, this is a lot. But your higher self will lead you harmoniously and peacefully. So even if you're in the valley of the shadow of death, you won't fear any evil, because you will be brought into illumination and light if you just persist and have faith. Oh, I love the idea of people don't speak with their voices either. Um, there's actually a real law in the Islands where you have to be voted on, and then if you have a criminal background at all, they don't allow you on the island. On the island, the children run around free. Um, Halloween, all the kids were trick or treating. Many very young kids didn't even have their parents with them. It's considered a very safe place um, for children. And I wish I could have lived there forever. I felt like I was protected there too in some way, but no. At that time, I had a lot of trauma that I had not healed, and so I was a jerk. I was a jerk in the sense that I was ignorant, and sometimes ignorance can be jerky because we don't realize that our thoughts and our emotions affect and infect other people like a virus. The world now just feels very unsafe, especially for children. Well, I'm here to tell you that the golden earth is returning. I'm seeing it in repetitive readings over and over and over. And it's a promise that I'm just excited about. I usually don't have I don't make content about the future or the past. First of all, I would never warn you about some bad future ever. Those people aren't in your favor. Because you have the ability to take what is evil and turn it into good through your thoughts and actions. Secondly, I don't like prophecies because um, I don't know if I even trust what I do sometimes. It may have just been for the person I was reading for. Maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe it's not for the collective. But I will just give you a temporary thing, and that is in the last 30 readings, there has been some communication of um, transcendence and Santa Claus and Saturn and Aquarius and the golden age and the golden age of harmony and the golden rule. And there's something about it. I keep seeing it over and over again. Dragons everywhere, Santa Claus everywhere, the sleigh, the reindeer, even the Bible verse Isaiah 35. And the eyes of the blind will be open, and the ears of the deaf will be unstopped, and the lame man will leap like a deer, and the tongue of the numb will speak. And in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. Yes, say unto him who are fearful at heart, be strong, fear not, behold, your God will come. And with vengeance he will come and save you. And then the eyes of the blind will be opened. That's Isaiah 35. And that is something I keep seeing, even with the deer, the reindeer, and the Santa, which is Saturn. I keep seeing that we're going to see and hear what we had not seen and heard before. It's already happening. You guys are seeing and hearing things you never thought possible. Okay, 20 years ago, if you heard me talk, you'd go, my God, that's the craziest human I ever heard in my life, right? Yeah, we would think we were absolutely insane. So this is part of that great awakening. The eyes of the blind are being opened, the ears of the deaf are becoming unstopped, and the layman will leap like a deer. Santa, reindeer, Christmas, Isaiah 35, 5 and 3, the number 8, the eighth flame. All of it keeps repeating over and over. It's something significant. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Everyone's a shining star. Don't you know that you are a shooting star and all the world would love you just as long as you are a shooting star. The eighth flame. You live on the number seven, 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors of the rainbow. You have 7 energetic centers known as chakras. They are paralleled with the 7 wounds of Christ. There are 7 spirits of God in the Bible. There are 7 musical notes. There are 7 metals. There are 7 trumpets, 7 seals, and there are 7 generational curses of Cain. There's 7 heavens. And in order to transcend out of a very limited mind or reality, you have to find the 8th harmonic, which is the 8th flame. The Hopi and some ancient tribes spoke of this 8th flame that will be lit and will set a fire upon the entire earth and make us back to where we were. And they're called rainbow people. And these rainbow people are about the 8th color and the 8th note that is invisible. So the world of 7 is visible, and the world of 8 is an invisible truth that we've been kept from, like a prison. And it is also the baptism of water that meets the baptism of fire, which makes the number 8. And it is the cross when you put an 8 this way and an 8 that way. It means a gift. And the 7 dimensions, yes. Yes, you read about the rainbow people, yes. Yeah, there are dark things about it, and that means that the ones who don't awaken, I'm sorry, but they're going to find they're going to be in a lower world. And the reason for their suffering is for like a bell, there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And so they crack under pressure from all the pain and suffering. And then the illumination gets in, and they will have to work their way up also. Religion is there to divide us, yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Loretta. I love you, my darling. Yeah, religion is a lie. Even Jesus himself said that the interpreters of the laws of God are liars and vipers. So many interpretations of that book is for people who are bound by this physical reality and the black and white words that it is in. The written word is served its purpose, but the unwritten word comes from the invisible realm. And that is up to you and your higher self to kind of decode together. It's funny how many Christians have never even read their book. Thank you for that one. That is so true. They think that Jesus is kind. Not true. They think that the interpreters of the law of God are good. Not true. They think that Jesus is a person. Not true. He plainly said, very much himself, turn over a stone and there I am, cut a piece of wood and there I am. So he's a place. That's why he says, follow me because I'm the way, like a path. And then he said, don't pray in public. What do Christians do? They pray in public, especially in a restaurant. It's totally against Jesus. Oh, well. They think the marriage ceremony is biblical. It's not. Marriage ceremony isn't even in the Bible. It's pagan. You dip the blood into a sacrificed animal, and the dress was for a god. The cake was meant for a god. And Adam and Eve didn't get married. There are many individuals in the Bible who never had a marriage ceremony. The marriage ceremony isn't in the Bible. Why do they stand there and say, dearly beloved, we are gathered here, blah, 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 with the Bible open? Not one passage of what they say is in the Bible. Not one. Why are these religious leaders liars? Why don't they tell you things? Why do they do a brainwashing technique where they stand up and you're sitting down? Turn to page here, bow your head, stand up, sit down. What I say is from the Holy Spirit. You can't hear the Holy Spirit. You know, it's a money-making organization. My stepdad was a preacher. My grandfather was a Pentecostal preacher. And their actions didn't go along with their words. Action is a prayer. And Jesus said you're meant to be as powerful as him and more if you believe. How many religious leaders do you know encouraging people to walk on water and raise the dead? Not very many. They don't really listen to Jesus. They listen to Paul. Paul never met Jesus. Paul built churches outside of ourselves when Jesus quite plainly said the kingdom of heaven is within you. He quite plainly said, don't trust the ones who wear those long robes and don't call them Father. Why do the Catholics call priests Father if Jesus said don't call anyone Father except for the Father in heaven? Why do they go against Jesus? Why? Because the curse of Cain was a protection. So if you're in that religion, you don't see the truth. You just don't. You're not meant to. You're not called to. So go pray in public, even though it's against Jesus. Go call them Father. Go read Matthew 23. The interpreters of the law of God are liars and vipers. They will cross land and sea to make you convert, and yet they will lead you to the gates of hell. Where is the gates of hell? It's actually so silly, really. It's your biofield. And your biofield is an apple that Adam and Eve allowed somebody to take a bite of. Your biofield is an ethereal net. It's a luminosity that surrounds your body invisibly. It is an apple. If someone has taken a bite out of your apple, it means that you have lost so much power that you can't hear God anymore. So you will be removed from the garden of truth. So we were sent to the bottom half of our biofield when we were up here. The bottom half of your biofield is called hell. Some people call it Helios, helix, healing, and it is connected to the letter W. There's the W. It is water, wattage, and electricity. It's really wattage, like electricity, and web. It's the World Wide Web, or the Wicked Witch of the West. So Dorothy was sent down to the bottom of her biofield, which is why the apple slapped her hand. So in order to make your way up to the top of your biofields, to be able to hear God again, you have to get to the center, which is Emerald City. So your green heart chakra is green, and the word green has the word energy in it, kind of. E-N-E-R-G, energy. And that green Emerald City heart chakra is the letter M. Emerald City, anti-M. So Dorothy was always trying to get to Emerald City, or anti-M. This is the master that walks on water. It's your biofield. Adam and Eve, your biofield. Jesus, your biofield. So your biofield actually looks like a net. And when Jesus said, let us cast our nets and be fishermen of men, he was talking about his biofield. Adam and Eve was talking about your biofield. Some people call it your Taurus field. Your Taurus field can get stuck in a tornado of someone else's energy. People think these religions, and they worship outside because they don't hear their higher self tell them, wait, what did you just say? Oh, it says, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Oh, so it doesn't say that God loved people. He loved the world. Yeah. Oh, the letter W. And then the sun is the sun. Yeah. And Jesus represents the fish, which is Pisces. And the sun that flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years is about the age of Aquarius. So following Jesus to the water bearer, which talks about in the Bible, Jesus says, follow me to the water bearer, where living waters will pour from your heart, is right here. Jesus said, follow the water bearer, where living waters pour from your heart. This is the green heart chakra. It is the star, the 5-pointed star that's in the middle of an apple. That's the worst star I ever did. It's the 5-pointed star in the middle of the apple. Right here. So follow Jesus from 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. As the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years, Jesus Christ has 11 letters in his name, to the 11th house, which is Aquarius. However, Jesus left the tower or temple at 12. He came back and he found 12 other disciples. So Jesus plus his 12 disciples equals 13. Where's 13? Oh, well, you just turn it around. It's right here. 1, 3. To be the number 13 is a coven. And what is a coven? It's the new covenant. Yep. And 3 plus 1 is 4. It's your 4th heart chakra. Get to the 4th heart chakra, you'll get to Emerald City, Auntie M. You'll be the master that walks on water, that knows how to use your ethereal net to cast your net and catch men into the net so that they come out of the world of the Wicked Witch of the West and into the mastery. This is actually Mary Magdalene. It's electromagnetism. And magnetism was removed from us. So now that we get our magnetism back, we can awaken to the real truth about being born again, is that you have a double invisible self that you need to use through hunting for power. And this is what it actually means. Your ethereal net is a luminosity that surrounds your physical body. It's a web of energy that gets torn to shreds during daily living. Huge portions of it become lost or entwined in other people's bands of energy. If you lose too much vital force, you can become ill or die. You can become ill or you die. Yeah. Breathing works on both the physical and ethereal levels. It repairs damage to your ethereal net and keeps it strong and pliant. What can your double do? This is your physical, this is your spirit. You have an invisible self that must be activated and must be connected to, like Bastion, connected to his mirror, Atreyu. A tree is you. Dorothy in Wizard of Oz Part 2 saw the princess in the mirror. This is your double. Your double born again self is your twice born self. What does your double do? Anything you want it to do. It can jump over trees, fly through the air, become large or small, take the shape of an animal. It can become aware of other people's thoughts or become a thought and hurl itself in an instant over vast distances. It can even act like the self. If you know how to use it, you can appear in front of someone and talk to them as if you were really there, like Jesus did with his disciples. How do you do it? You have to let go of this physical world, your physical body, your physical emotions, your physical thoughts, and begin to seek first the kingdom of God, and that is thought forms of God. Behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape. Know which shape leads to power. You will have thought forms of God. If God is for you, who can be against you? You let go of your physical body and allow your double to take over. If your awareness is tied to your double, you will not be affected by the laws of this physical world. Rather, you will be governed by ethereal forces. But as long as your awareness is tied to your physical body, your movements and everything will be limited by the laws of this physical land, gravity, and other constraints. Gospel of Philip says that if you are illuminated with light, the dark ones cannot see you or detain you. So you have gates in your body, and these specific gates are either opened or closed. And if they are opened, you're losing power in your apple. If you have learned to keep your biofield and your Taurus field strong through following life energy and not being indulgent in your past and this world and distracted by over-consumerism, low self-worth, or self-importance, then you maintain 0-point energy. You become the master of the net. And this makes you have power that other people don't have. And they will look at you and say, oh, it's by Satan that you do these things. But you know what? They don't read the Bible. The oracle was written in the Bible 23 times. If any man speak, let them speak as an oracle. And if you're a man, you're considered a man if you're down, if you have a physical body. The invisible ones are considered magnets. They're called Mary Magdalene actually means tower. She was mentioned in the Bible 12 times. She is a clock tower. We were in the phallus of Osiris, and then we flipped to Magdalene, magnetism. So we were in we are physically considered men, and then our double is considered female. because she's invisible. She's the magnetism. And this is what the Bible's about. Even the ark. This is the top of your biofield is called Noah's Ark. So there are that know about this, and they are usually secret societies. So what they like to do is take the curvature of your biofield and make it look like this. And they know, they're called the master of the net. They know about the mirror. So it makes MW, but it makes a net. This is an icosahedron that has opened up to be called the jewel of the net. So it's MW as a jeweled net. And this is a secret from the ancient Egyptians. But they will try to use black magic against you from flipping. And I've told you guys this time and time again. I'll just tell you guys one more time. In 2001, the sun flipped its magnetic polarity. As the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. The sun has a biofield or a torus field just like you. And when it flips, you're supposed to flip with it. Unless black magic or distraction or something has occurred that is out of divine order. So this looks like the number 11. The two towers, 911 equals 11. And the two towers in New York City look like 11. The two towers sat in front of a body of water, 1111. 911, 11. So the sun flipped its magnetic polarity in 2001. We went through a major shift. And so your top part of your biofield is M, and the bottom part is W, MW. And your higher self or your double born again self is called a twin flame. The twin towers, twin flame. That someone broke the two towers down. They knew that they were going to do it many years before they did it. That's why this was even created in the first place. So they took the two towers down. We didn't get to flip. It was black magic. So they knew this was going to happen because go look at the 1976 Supertramp album. There's a woman holding the two towers from New York City. Breakfast in America. S-U-P-E-R. The letter U was cut, and you put this in a mirror. It says 9/11. And then just go look around. Go look at the Nazi helmets that say SS. It's not SS. It's 11/11. 11/11 is topsy-turvy day, where everything that was upside down turns right side up. It's been celebrated, it's predating medieval times. It's called 11/11, topsy-turvy day, 11/11, because the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. And they didn't just want to keep the sun from flipping. They wanted to keep the 11th house from occurring. And that's the golden age of Aquarius. That's the 11th house. And they didn't want just that to stop either. We went through 5,600 years of winter galactically. And now, which is 11, we just entered 5,600 years of spring. And they wanted really much for that not to happen. No one who murders a bunch of people is a good person. But if you follow symbology, you can see who did it. So when you see the Marriott symbol and it's a sword pushing over a tower, you know, you just see it everywhere, the 11/11 everywhere. Well, anyway, if the sun flipped in 2001, it flipped again in 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. And then this year it's flipping. So be ready, you guys, 2023 to 2024. It's a huge, 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 huge shift, because the year 2023 was the year of the water rabbit. 2024 is the year of the fire dragon. Water, fire, water, fire. Electromagnetism, twin flame, divine marriage, flesh and spirit, the master of the net, spring, awakening, golden age, golden Aquarius, golden sun, da-da-da-da-da. And who is Jesus? He is Yah, which means moon, and Shua means the ray of the sun. We moved from darkness into light. And that's all it is. Yeah, all these religious practices are about the invisible world, truths on the invisible world that we aren't aware of. It's the awareness of your invisible luminous light body, your ethereal net, your double born again self, your the seven masters, the seven spirits of God, the Holy Spirit. All of that is the invisible world, and they don't want you to see that part because that's the magnetism. That's the female world. That's the world of 13 and then eventually 14. So it actually goes like this. Once upon a time, we go through Topsy-Turvy Day in November. November 11th is 11/11. This is when everything turns upside down. Be thankful during that time. And this is Thanksgiving. Then here comes December. This is 12. This is the Christmas tree, Jacob's ladder, the blazing star of Solomon, Saturn, the illumination of our rainbow light body, activation, stepping into a gift, hearing God, crystallization of Christ consciousness, the snow. Santa is Saturn, the star is Saturn. Saturn emits a plasma that looks like a bearded man. The reindeer is about our ascension. The chimney is about our subconscious mind that has been activated. The color red of Santa is that we have come out of the bottom part of our biofield, which is red. We've been let go of a hellish reality. And then here comes January. January is a new birth, a new world. 13. It's a mastery of your biofield. You've stepped into that mastery. But then, where's 14? Then that's February. Oh, Valentine's Day, you don't say. Oh, yes. February 14th. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Now you're going to be sending little cards and messages easily to God, your higher self, your double, each other, telepathy, oracle abilities, channeling abilities, psychic abilities. This is all invisible stuff. All the invisible stuff comes to you like a pretty little card in the mail. You might like to know that the number of the Holy Spirit is 14, and Osiris's body was cut 14 times. The number 14 is very significant. It's 5D. February is Valentine's Day, and it's amazing. It's awesome. So many of us were in November for a while. Some of us transcended into December. And then some of us actually made it to January. And this is our rebirthed self. And then this is something new I'm seeing in people's readings. I'm starting to see the number 14. So Valentine's Day, where you're going to receive love from God and from the invisible ones and prosperity and peace and joy, it's on its way, supposedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 22 and 14 were always your favorite and lucky numbers. See, Emerald Oracle, you and I have always been very connected. I was born October 22nd. So that 11/11, I had to learn that that's called it's called the Libra Royal Road. And the rule of this road is balance, but it's also you have to have peace with all of your relationships in order to ascend. If you are still polarized by the bickering and the fighting and the shaming and the blaming of this world and you do not forgive, you will not make this shift. So you and I have been very connected to through oracle energies and also through the truths of these teachings. And Saturn is Satan when you're in the lower world, but when you've shifted and you go through a pole shift, it's actually the Lord of the Golden Age, and it is not Satan. It is a era that is associated with not only the Golden Age but the Golden Rule, treat others as you would like to be treated. And is an era without, with no misery. It is happiness, harmony, peace, prosperity, joy, no misery, no sounds of war, no labor, an era without suffering where everyone treats each other as they would like to be treated, no disease, and everyone was equal. And even in every single ancient civilization, they spoke of Saturn as the return of the king, the original sun. And so Saturnine means gloom, depression, but Saturnian means to the highest. And so anyway, no school either, because all of your answers come to you invisibly. You don't need the written word. You don't need the physical. It comes to you already telepathically. And since you already have surrendered and decided to do the will of God, you don't have to do anything but hear it and follow it. That's it. And so early Christmas traditions have Saturn as the old man who lives at the cosmic North Pole and brings twigs of evergreen to children. But it is not the North Pole. It is the seventh heaven. It is the highest heaven coming down to earth, on earth as it is in heaven. And so it's the first sun that has returned, and it is the return of the king, the return of the sun. And anyway, yeah, that's what it is. It's the golden age returning, the golden apple, the golden egg. Can you tell me about being born on the 11th of August, 1976? What is your first name? N355? What's your first name? Vanessa? August 11th, 1976. Okay. So according to this book, is it almost time? Okay. According to this book, 1976 is the number 222. 222. And then plus 11. And then August is 212. Okay. So that's 445. Okay. So then you take 445 and you subtract 260. 445 minus 260. All right. So your number is 185. Okay. All right. 185. You are 3 dots, red 3 dots. So you are electric. You are here for service, to activate, and to bond. You are 3 dots. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. You are the blue knight. You're right here. You're the blue knight. You are abundance, dreams, and intuitions. So when you look at this chart and you see all the colors that are blue, it is a map and a path for you that I don't understand. I haven't gotten into it enough, but you need to know that that's what you are. You are the number 185, according to this book. And it tells you what your purpose is. But let me just do a very quick reading. here on you just quickly to see what you're meant to do here. So your Phoenix, and oh, you got a spaceship that has an eye on it, and you have a lot of elephants, and here you are. You're a path to a throat chakra, so you're supposed to teach or something. You're supposed to use your voice, but it's like you're you're a crown giver. You're on your knees, and in one of your hands, you have your hand out like this, and you're putting waters down like this. And here you are. And there's a boat that makes AI. And there's that elephant. Two elephants. Three elephants. People who are dominated by the world and dominated by the and have not transcended from, it looks as if, and this is only my temporary reading because I'm not really sure, right? Because it does look like a rainbow bridge over your shoulder here going straight into your throat chakra. And you have a hand that's holding a crown, like a golden crown. And the boat that looks like it's about to sink is needing water. It has no water. And you're giving them water to stay afloat. It's like people who are having a hard time making the shift. I think you're helping them. Like there's going to be a precipice where people are going to be literally panicking, under complete panic because of some of the shifts that are going to be occurring. And they're not going to know what to do because they didn't rebirth. And so on one hand, you're going to help people get the crown, which is the sail on their boat. Here. And you have the water. It's coming straight down from your arm here. Here's your foot. There's your body. There's this. Boom, boom. But anyway, I think what you're here to do is to help people make it through this shift and help their boat to stay afloat so that they could at least have the opportunity to walk up the rainbow bridge and go through that rebirth so that they can get the golden crown to the golden age of Aquarius. Because and you're also basically the eye of Horus, which is a horse. So your body here is a horse. So your energy represents Horus. And you're here to bring the eye of Horus. And the eye of Horus is about the ability for us to see through the eyes of God and have that crown of, there's 5 crowns you can give, eternal life, indestructible crown, crown of rejoicing, and all that. According to your life path, you are here to help others. According to that book, it says you're here to be of service to others. So your service is in the higher realm, you're going to help people get that crown. In the lower realm, you're going to help people get above water like a boat. And people who are about to sink, you're going to go, No, 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 no. Stay above the lower part of your biofield. Learn to hunt for power and activate your biofield. Keep your boat, which is AI or I am, above water. The Eye of Horus, and there's a spaceship, and there was a person inside that spaceship. I guess you're talking to people who are aliens, or you're talking to Palladians. You're talking to people who are in a spaceship because they're talking to you. Anyway, that's what they want you to do. They want you to help. Is it? Okay, I better go. All right, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry, my dinner's ready. I gotta go. Thank you, Stephanie. We usually go live, and I would like to talk to Stephanie, but I'm running late. Please follow Stephanie. She's my moderator, and I meant to put Diana as my moderator too, in case Stephanie's not there, because she's always on my lives. And I will do that next time. I just get so distracted, don't I? Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. If you miss any portion of this live, go to my YouTube channel, Mary Moses Art. It's in the link of my bio. If you have any questions that I'm not able to answer you, especially regarding the website or things like that, you can go to Stephanie. She helps me a lot. Her email is divineawakening at Yahoo. Well, I can't remember. Anyway, her TikTok is Divine Awakening 369. And she will help you with that. Also, she's going to be selling products on my website. We're going to be doing things together, fun things that I hope you guys will find joyful, that will activate your heart chakra and bring your inner child out. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Love you so much. You're so welcome. Okay, bye-bye.